Hello. Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Monday again. Can you believe it's already here? I can't believe it either. There's a lot going on today. California Bill AB 1999 moves along. There's some stock price updates. I thought I'd look up some stock prices and see what happened. You know, the ATA, they're really not for drivers as much as people would like them to think. Are these contracts really involuntary servitude? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. What do you think? Western Express installs eSmart in all of their trucks, and I hope to see everybody at Matt's. Will you be there? I hope to see everyone there. It's at the end of March. All right, so let's see what's happening out there today. And let's see, Irishman was first on Wednesday, as he sent me an email about, and Michael Muller was also on Wednesday. It's good to see everyone today. Thank you for being in way early. I appreciate it. Believe me. It's crazy. Wild Bill is here today. He's lonely at the top. Rhino is here. Hello. What's happening? Trucker Hershey. Man, what's going on out there today? So as we go down here, Kay Wayne is here today. George Wilson is in. What's going on? Good afternoon, everybody. Josh is here. Alf is here. I love it. In Streeter, Illinois. Right, I love it. I got a nephew that lives up there. That's great. In the Streeter area. Michael Cole, hello. Morning driving. Oh, nice. Out west side, right. What is going on? It's already crazy. The White Knight is here. Al Johns, hello. It's good to see you today. Misty is here. Good morning. And, let us know what you think about what you have to say about Pride and what they were saying. Chrome Daddy, hello. I'd love to know what you think since you were there. ATA executives are computer screen truck drivers. Yeah, no doubt. And a flat world. We're all in a flat world. We all know that. So that goes without saying. Ursel Blevins. Hello, what's going on? And here we go. The Healthy Highwayman is here. Hello. It's good to see you, Ralph. Good morning. Edward St. Andrew from Pittsburgh. Hello. Nomad Trucker. Jimmy Savage. What's the scoop on National Carriers? Yeah. They have the beef. I'll tell you that. Eddie is here today. Dennis, what's happening? Cash is king. Trucking. You've been drinking green tea all day. Why? It's not delicious. So, Trucker Dave is here. Green tea. Yikes. That's not great. Fleet Nav Systems is here. And I have this. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, so we'll do this here. We don't want weird noises being made all over the place. I was off on that. I should turn that off. Okay, which I did. So Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hey, they're your geotab experts. You want to ask them a question? Put the ad to Fleet Nav Systems there, and they have a very informative YouTube channel. Get some ELD, geotab questions, whatever you got going on. Thank you for being here today. It's good to see you, and I'll see you here in a few weeks. Jim Trucker just started with Werner. What do you think? What are your initial impressions? That's always, they only get one chance to make a first impression. What do you say about that? Right. Halo Jumper shout out. Yeah, hey, what's happening? TJ Joe to the Bull Woods is here. Randall Stevens, hello. It's good to see you. Star Wars 518, what's happening? 1 hour workout. Daytime line haul here in Illinois. That's the way to do it, right. Getting paid for your time. Teal GP Transco truck sighting this morning at Holiday Worthington Truck Center in Worthington. Well, see, but again, west of the Indiana-Illinois state line, as usual. Romulo, what's going on? Enjoying Monday off at the beach. That'd be nice. You can go up to the beach here at the Dune State Park. Of course, you need all your winter gear and everything. Misty left because you couldn't bring your cat, who's your best pal. I agree with that. Who doesn't let you take a cat? I don't understand it, right? What are they doing not allowing cats at Pride? How are you supposed to have Pride if you don't have your cat with you? I agree. They just won't budge on it. Eugene, what's going on? Greetings from Uzbekistan. How's the weather out there? Hey, going good today. We're going to hit 40 degrees today in rain. Not bad, and we're expecting mid-50s next week. That's like, about 12, 14 degrees out there. Not bad, right? So I'll take it. And no matter what I get it in, C or F. AZ, morning, Mark. Stuck at Cheyenne. I know, it's closed again. Some people have been stuck there like a week or something. I've seen it's been closed. It's been crazy. Mike Scott, hello, your black cat Swoosh. Oh, I love it. Swoosh says hi, too. Oh, like Festus. I don't have a picture of him. I should get a picture of him out here. He is passed on, but I love it. Right. Luca, 1, 2, 3, 4, prefer mango green tea. Maybe something to break up that greenness, right? Kim English, I had roller wieners for breakfast and now my left arm is numb. Yes, isn't it wonderful? I mean, that is one of the best side effects. Once you get so many of those preservatives and sulfates in you that even your own limbs don't work, what is better than that? Shut down in Evanston. Roads are clear. Scam. Passed a flipped over Pride Saturday. Well, there's a lot of trucks. Then a FedEx ground passed me and he was flipped over. Great. Thank you for company of the week videos. I landed at Bar None and couldn't be happier. RBC, good. And thanks for saying that. It's always nerve-wracking putting a company out there like that. But, the pay is good and they get good reviews. I'm glad you're doing good there and, being treated well, really, besides money. Clifton, good day from the oil fields. I helped you out, filled up the wife's car yesterday. Misty, I know of other drivers not getting their layover pay. So are they doing the same kind of thing there that a lot of companies do where if you don't, there's certain exact steps, and if you don't exactly follow them, then you don't get your pay? Is that how it works there? Did you have any of those kind of problems there? Clayton Ave, looking forward to seeing it, Matt's. Yeah, it'll be great walking around down there. It's going to be a great day. My wife has surgery, I should say, a couple days before that. She just got it scheduled in, having her elbow reconstructed on Tuesday of truck show week. So I'll be down there by myself that day. So just be me walking around, walking the floors. Patrick, it's, hey, homie, it's me, homeboy. Right, hey, what's up, all the homies? Jim Trucker, well, not bad, starting nothing bad. I like it. Did GP Transco provide you cost info on their health insurance premiums? I do not have information on their health insurance costs because I think a lot of it determines, like, is it you? Is it you and a wife? Is it you and kids or anything? So I don't have costs on their health insurance, just, their pay, which they post anyway. So, no, I don't have that. Does GP Transco have drive cams? All right, GP Transco has cameras in the trucks that face you if you choose to. They're still voluntary. And if you choose the camera, you get an extra 2 cents a mile. Would I take it? I would not take the 2 cents. But if you want the money, you can get it. It's the only company I've ever seen that pays you for it, and they're voluntary. They only face forward, so out the road. So there you go. That's GP Transco. Until that policy changes, that's their current policy. Stuck in Wyoming on 80. Hard boss, that's wonderful. Al John's no cats. They can keep the truck. Pride is a group of lions, but not in those trucks. Yeah, what's the story? Why, but they'll take a dog. It's like, why not a cat? I don't understand. Is 31 cents per mile good? Eric, no. All right. I wanted to make some kind of DeLorean reference, but couldn't get one fast enough. So, no, that's really low in the industry. K-Way, good morning, Gracie. She appreciates that, even though she's probably sleeping somewhere right now. She's not out here today. Cassius King Trucking, 60 and sunny in Tennessee. Well, yeah, and that's coming up here too, right? Don Pepe, good morning, Mark. It's good to see you. Mike, it's a scam. Hard boss, the cameras are clear. What are they saying then? Why is the road not back opened up? Is it because every time they open it that somebody has an accident? I mean, what are they doing? Sam, I am happy delivering Blue Bunny ice cream on 80 here in Texas, at 80 degrees in Texas. That's always the good thing about delivering ice cream and stuff was the summertime. So it's 100 degrees out, you open the doors. Oh, it's so wonderful. Although sometimes you back right in and don't get to open the doors. But that first blast of cold air is so nice. Big, huge Mike is here. It's 51 in Pennsylvania today. GP Transco, good morning, Mark and the rest. Hello, GP Transco is here. They have a $1,000 a week guarantee. I should say that I finally put it on there. You are not guaranteed a teal-colored truck. So there's some information to get if you'd like to talk to GP Transco. They'd be happy to talk to you about putting you in a teal truck or maybe a different colored truck. So some kind of truck. Give them a call. So there's that. I finally put that on there after weeks of thinking about it. Fleet Nav Systems saw a teal-colored truck on 71 north from Columbus. Wow. I wonder how it got out there. Must have been lost. Because I was hoping to see one at the truck show, but they're not going to bring one down, so I don't know where one could possibly be. I think they're photoshopped in. Paint. Does Microsoft still have Paint? Remember Paint? 31 cents is terrible, says Misty. I agree. Patrick, 66 in Nashville. That's pretty nice. The Healthy Highwayman's in Louisville. Are you down there for the show? Are you waiting for the show to open? You'll be first in the door. I switched to complete salmon and herring and organic bread diet. Michael Muller. Wow. How's that working out for you? Where do you get herring on the road? Amigo Jones, seen the article where the TSA took $190,000 cash from a Florida trucking company. Going to buy trucks. Employee was boarding a flight. Now TSA won't release the funds. That's not unusual. You carry a lot of money, and they take it. And they don't give it back to you. So I think, look, I don't agree with it. Okay, let's put that out there. That without a trial, the government shouldn't be able to confiscate your property without you being convicted of some kind of crime. Even so, look, who takes $180,000 through the airport? You know they're going to take the money from you, okay? I only carry like $3 when I drop the wife off down there when she goes to see her son in Seattle every year. And because of the searches and stuff, I will not fly. I don't think it's right or constitutional. I don't like it. But carrying that money, they should have rented a car. I mean, nobody would know the difference. It's crazy, even though the money's legal, to take the kind of money in the airport with all the government around, they're going to take it from you. Cassius King Trucky's in the middle of Tennessee, going to your mom's house for some meatloaf. Nice. Mom's making meatloaf. Al Johns, where'd that go? For people that don't know, I lose my spot all the time, so that's always wonderful. 31 cents is worse than Werner. They start at 38, and that's bad. Yeah, 31 is nothing anymore. George Wilson, my cat, Mr. Salvatore says hi. That's great, Mr. Salvatore. Any great flatbed company reviews? I don't have that many flatbed company reviews. Maverick, I liked Maverick till this camera thing came up. You know, because there aren't that many, and I just didn't do it that often. I thought it was a lot of work. Eddie McFadden, so what's the deal with the Walmart appeal of the appeal? Walmart is peeling. Walmart got sued. I did a video about it by drivers. They had to pay $55 million. They're appealing, of course. This is for time that drivers are not being paid for. And so the ATA writes an amicus brief, which is a friend of the court brief. They go, hey, Walmart shouldn't have to pay drivers for this time, and here's why. And then who bebops in behind them to write another brief? CRST and US Xpress. Also in, saying, hey, that if drivers are really being paid, then they're really on duty if they have to watch the truck. Exactly. You can't say, look, you cannot leave that truck, I don't think, to a driver. You are not allowed to leave because Walmart drivers, it said in the thing, have to request permission to go home, to leave their truck somewhere and go back home. And sometimes, depending on the load, the company says, no, you have to stay with the truck. Well, that ought to be paid. Your time is being taken by the company. So I don't agree. I don't agree with the ATA ever, right? And, of course, these other low-paying companies are right in on it. You ought to get paid for it. And $42 that Walmart pays is not enough. That's less than minimum wage for 10 hours of time, even federal minimum wage, much less California. Mad Hatter, hello. Bring Gracie to Matt's Texas Trader. Wow, I wonder how that would go. She's not a traveling kind of cat, I don't think. Hello, Mark, traveling to Georgia. That'd be great. Dave Johnson says, Crazy Rocks. That's awesome. I wish she was awake to experience that. Does anybody have coronavirus yet? That's a good question, and hopefully nobody does, but we'll see what happens. Meatloaf would do anything for love, but he won't do that. Oh, right. Hate when people pass in the exit-only lane. What are they doing? More Pike running a load down there. What's the difference between union and non-union companies? Oh, the pay, generally. The union drivers generally make more money. And at many union companies like Yellow and Holland, the health insurance doesn't cost you anything. There's no charge, like the weekly charge that you get. There's no charge. And people say, well, you pay union dues. It's way less than insurance costs. Way less. Hello from Florida. Paid by the hour, juicing to ride. Jay Godfrey. I got some Florida orange juice I just got yesterday. Wish you had Corona, not the Corona. I bet they don't like that. What did the people at Corona think about that? Why are they naming it after us? They're like, what's going on? What is up with the truck going out of business? These are small places that go out of business. 100 people, 40 people. There's not that many. Overall, it's bad if you're the one there. But when you have a million something drivers, it's not as big a deal as is being made out to me. You should do something about Swift lawsuits. There are a lot of them. They're big. Although I worked for Swift and I was getting paid very good until I got hurt. Yeah, well, the bigger the company, the more lawsuits. When you have 16,000, 18,000 trucks or whatever, you're going to have more lawsuits just because it's a bigger place. Ironically, I have Swift stock and some other stocks here today. I spoke to a Pride recruiter 2 weeks ago. Said they could only get me home every 28 days. That's not good. And I finished laughing. They were 5 cents less than what I make now and home weekends. That's not great at all. And that's a good reason to call a place. Pride doesn't have a lot of terminals around the country, so depending where you live, it could be a problem getting home. That's absolutely one of the things you should ask them. I sat at a door 9 hours one day and got paid for 2 at Pride. What happened? Oh, Misty, that's a good question. All right, so they show after 2 hours getting paid detention guaranteed, no matter if they get it or not. So what did they say about that? You should have got 7 hours according to what they say on their own site. Newspawn has driver-facing cameras too. When they get going with that? Ruth, hello, Mark and Gracie. Oh, she loves it. She gets so much attention. How much is Gracie's hourly wage for sleeping? A lot. Tons of food, believe me. And her medical insurance costs. Yes, the cat has medical insurance. So I saw your video on ATA. Man, that gets my blood boiling. Why are they... Look, all they do all day is fight against drivers. And they're going to be down at Matt's. Oh, being all nice to all the drivers that go by. Oh, and how good. And then the show... Really, it aggravated me that the show on OIDA... Or on satellite on the trucking channel, Road Dog, they said, oh, here's all the groups, OIDA, 4 drivers, ATA. I'm like, what? How does the ATA get in on that? Do they have to pay to get in that? Well, man, Newspawn is strict. I started there 6 months and split. See, that's the other thing about cameras. There's 2 parts to it. One, it's aggravating that they're watching you. But number 2, how strict are they about it? Are they right on it 100% all the time? Constantly on you about it, or do they basically leave you alone about it unless it's really a big problem? That's the 2-part camera thing. It's because if you work somewhere that installs cameras after you're there, you have to really think whether you should leave. If they start bothering you about it, then you should probably leave before you get fired for safety violations. But going somewhere that's got them, it's not as much of a recommendation. Pick up some Chinese freight, more Corona. Oh my God, right. Who's pulling containers right now? Those people that just got let out of that cruise ship in Cambodia was on the news. That was a Corona ship. Now they found one of the people from there has coronavirus after they got let out. Oh my gosh. And these people have dispersed themselves around the world. What a disaster. Hunsley, hello from Wyoming, Michigan. It's cold there. Yikes. 84 and sunny in Florida. Great. That's awesome. Thank you for telling me that. Hubert. Red Monkey Trucking. Hello there. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you on here for a while. Hope you're doing good. If you wear it, make it a parrot, as always. Always do that. Don't ever wear anything but that. They'll be down at the truck show, too, so go bother them down there and tell them that you like their products. They'd like to know that. And I wear a 350. I think it's the best thing going. Anyone know about R&L? Seems like a good company, just out of curiosity. I don't know if they have cameras, but yeah, all I hear are good things from people that write to me about them. That's for sure. Jason, good morning in California, 63. That's awesome. I just finished my taxes, Alexander. Wow, you're way early. I'm not doing those till April. Patrick, for a new driver starting, which type of trailer would you recommend? Flatbed? Well, it depends what you want, how much work you want to do. My first road job was flatbed, but then I thought, man, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Fleet Nav system, remember mouse paint for Apple II. Oh, nice. Apple II, yeah. I never really had an Apple, always been Microsoft, so it had a paint program also. So when you weren't playing Minesweeper, you could run the paint program. Cashless King Trucking likes this coronavirus with Lime. Alexander, how'd you get host on your taxes? That's not great. Scott Real enjoyed the rant about WM yesterday. People should be paid to protect equipment. Yeah, if they're going to say, no, you can't leave that truck, then I guess they're expecting you. What do they want you to do? If you hear somebody breaking in, are you supposed to go confront them? Are you a security guard? What are you supposed to do? But if they want you there watching that truck, that ought to be paid time. And legally, I personally think legally it is, because if you're in readiness, it says FMCSA in readiness to operate the truck, in readiness, even waiting for dispatching, all that is on duty time. So if they're not letting you leave, you can't be off duty. Off duty says you have to be able to pursue activities of your own choosing. If you cannot do that, you're not off duty. And so therefore you should be paid. And they can't go $42. That's not pay. That's not minimum wage, especially in California where this lawsuits are happening. If your driver needs a truck and can scrub showroom new, yeah, isn't that great? TMC is a fake boot camp, no doubt. R&L doesn't pay overtime till after 55. For what? For the daytime drivers? Or what about line haul? How's line haul do at R&L if you are there? Well, Bill asks who I drive for, and I never get the question, but for new people, I'll say that I don't say who I drive for because they keep some out of my videos. You know, they're not really relevant, so I keep them out of my videos. I also don't recruit for them. I mean, every driver's out here recruiting for their companies, getting more on their recruiting money. There's some out here, that's all they do, right? They get more in that than they do in driving. Forget it. Keep them out of there. So that's what I do there. Oh, thank you. That's a good policy. I appreciate that. Too bad Yellow and Holland are circling the drain. It's a problem. But while you're there, also that transfer. So if you move on to another union company, your retirement and stuff transfers over. Mark doesn't tell where he works. He's not a recruiter. I appreciate that. You won't get the coronavirus because you drink Budweiser. GM's reopening Lordstown to build a 2020 electric car. Yeah, that's good. They'll sell, a few thousand of those. That's awesome, rather than hundreds of thousands of something else. Okay, brilliant. Love electric cars. I like sitting charging, for 3 hours at a time. That's pretty good. YRC is merging all their subsidiaries into one operation. We had one driver, I haven't seen it for a while, that runs a Tesla. Still out there, Tesla driver. How's that 90-minute charging? I just can't stand it, okay? You got to be able to charge the thing a little bit faster than they do. I pulled $94,000 last year with YRC and no out-of-pocket insurance. How do you get there without union dues? Because at a union company, don't you have to pay union dues? I mean, seriously. Can anyone tell me the trucking companies that only run the Midwest back to east of the Rockies? Wow. AAA Cooper doesn't pay overtime at all. That's terrible, but getting good experience and will hopefully get a better job later. I clear enough to make it worth it. If it's worth it, you can always move on later. And when you leave, you should tell them, I'm leaving because of this. And if they actually thought that, right, they might change it, certainly. If you don't want to aggravate them now about it, that's okay. But when you leave, they should know why you're leaving. I'm getting distracted by the ignorance of car commercials by Volkswagen and Nissan. Nissan has car. Do they still sell cars in the United States? What do you think of a company firing a driver in New York and the driver lives in California and the driver not getting a ticket back home? Yeah, I've said that companies ought to get you back home. Unfortunately, they don't legally have to. They should take you back to wherever you started from. So they should, but they don't always. And so you should always have a few $100s to get you home from the other side of the country. I'm surprised a company that would fire somebody somewhere else unless it's another terminal that they have. Because if they fire you at the truck stop, I'll tell you what, I'd leave the truck wherever they fired me. I'd say, well, I guess we're done. So you come and figure your truck out. So I don't know about that. They've already shut down the New Penn headquarters and moved all that out to our YRC. How do you go on vacation if you don't fly? We have a car here. I don't know about if you know that 99% of the time all you have to do is walk through the metal detector. It just aggravates me. They don't have any right to search me. I haven't done anything wrong. So I don't have a deal with the government. I have a deal with Delta or whatever. Like the wife is going to fly Delta to Seattle. She flies out there every year, all right? So we have a deal with Delta. I'll give you money and you fly me out there. The government has no say in that. Just like Enterprise. They don't search you before you get in a rental car. If I go get a car, then that's between me and them. The government has no right to interfere with my contractual agreement with another company, Delta. So I'm not going to be gone through a metal detector, patted down by somebody in size 4, pants that's not a size 4. I'm not going to do it. Go through my bag. Oh, but put all your stuff in this bin here. No, that is not what America's about. So I don't fly. And you can go on vacation, it turns out, in a car. You can go almost anywhere you want, really, in a car. What's the big deal about a teal-colored truck? Gordon Trucking was taken over by Heartland, used to be teal. Yeah, but except that at GP Transco, I never see the trucks. I've only seen pictures of them. I'm out driving around every day, and I've never seen one. Everybody sends me pictures of them for some reason. they're sending drivers around my location so I don't see the trucks. So that's the thing. Michael Muller, let's all have anti-ATA signs to boycott their stand at ATA and their affiliated carriers. That's a good idea. Driver-facing cameras more of a distraction than anything to me. I know. I mean, you're always thinking, oh, what if it goes off? What if they see this? It's always in your mind. Oh, should I stop here? I know a guy wrote to me the other day. And, so he got a camera thing at his company. And he, apparently, because he sent me a little clip of it. So he goes up to a stoplight, right, a red light, and it's turning. And so he has to hit the brakes, and the camera went off. But where he stopped was beyond the line. And so he got in trouble. So I said, oh, well, tell them that I guess next time you just blow through the yellow lights. That way the camera doesn't go off because you don't hit the brakes. That's the kind of choice the camera makes you make. Because if you stop too many times, now I will say you should be paying attention. But, if you stop, just too many times, you're fired. It's not a great way to encourage people to be safer. Companies always use the carrot and the stick thing, but they don't remember the carrot part. It's always the stick part. There's no carrot. They hit with the stick, but there's no carrot for you. New Penn close the contract. All non-services are being consolidated. Okay. Should trainers have pets when training? Depends if the student likes the pet. Probably not. It's hard enough in there. So the pet is for a single person. I'd be surprised if a company allows it. I probably wouldn't allow it. What if the trainee hurts the pet or something? I don't know. Just say no to driver-facing cameras. I agree. Be sure to ask everybody at Matt's if they have them. Alexander hopes everyone is doing well. I hope you don't get audited. I will be seeing you at the truck show. Hubert, all right, I'll see you down there. Trucking wife number 1. Nice seeing you. It's good to see you here. New Spam waste all their money making their trucks right. I know they take all this. I know we put these stuff too. I get all these fairings and stuff, and then they say fuel wherever you want. So it doesn't make any sense. Well, we want to save fuel, but you can just buy fuel wherever you like. So okay. R&L line haul is flat rate plus hourly for pre-trips. Okay, so flat rate, that's interesting. It depends how far you're going. I remember reading about a statement they made where they took that huge loan, like $150 million. Yikes. If a person involved in, Red Monkey Trucking, if a person is involved in an accident and it was put down as the other party causing the accident, does that go on DAC as an unavoidable accident? It probably will go on your DAC if it's put down. It probably will. But I don't think, I don't know that it would go down as preventable. It depends what your company says. Your company, whatever company you're at, is the one that determines if it's preventable, and they're the ones that fill that out. So your company could still call it preventable. Just because somebody, the cop on the scene says one thing, that doesn't mean your company will say it. So that's where you got to get to. Misty, for Pride, I sat at the door that day. I went for 5 hours and the second for 4 hours. The first one didn't allow early delivery. I was the set time there 3 hours ahead of schedule, but LA traffic made me 30 minutes late. That's how these companies get all this stuff. They always have a way out. Okay, so if you're a couple minutes over, you don't get it. If this happens, you don't get it. So because it's guaranteed, presumably if you're on time, so you sit there and don't get any pay, then they go, well, you were late. And then it turns out they don't keep drivers that way. Alexander, LTI does mostly Midwest freight. Mark for governor 2020. That would be a lot of fun. So you didn't get paid anything for the first one. So that stinks. Because of traffic, something you can't control, you have problems. This guy Trucks, I believe, did that video on his own accord. This guy Trucks. Well, some unions you can withhold if you do support a cause you do not support yourself. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're splicing the story to getting it wrong. The sales force is merging. Oh, nice. Coronavirus is called that because corona means crown in Latin, which is the language used for most medical names. The virus looks like a crown under the microscope. Oh, I actually didn't know that. I wonder why did they put... Even so, the beer company must be like, what is going on? Why does it have to be called that? So that is it. That's interesting. I need to brush up on my Latin. My wife, Catholic, I'll ask her if she knows any Latin. So not sure about that, but okay, crown in Latin. All right. That does actually make a lot of sense then. Probably not helpful to the people that sell Corona. Sorry I'm late, but hopefully you're having a good Monday. Tyler, good to see you here. Thank you for coming. Clifton Lambert, if you wear it, the cat maketh the parrot. If you wear it, the cat are the parrot. Hello, everyone. I'm now sitting at home. Good. I've got a speeding ticket bad in Nevada till I get it resolved. Hope I can get the ticket lowered. Should you hire? Yeah, you need a lawyer. If it's enough where you can't work, absolutely. You get some kind of lawyer and get on it immediately to try to get it reduced. Yeah, right. Fleet nav system. That's pretty good. I mean, that's like a Jeopardy level thing to know. Really, I had no idea. Well, you work for a non-union barn. Oh, I see. Well, Bill, I won't fly either. The airport treats you like a criminal. I know. Look, they don't have any right to search you, to touch you, to go through your bags, to ask you to empty your pockets. Nothing. I don't have a deal with the TSA. I have a deal with a private company. The government doesn't get to interfere in that agreement. They don't. My deal is with Delta. That's it. Nobody else. They would have to say that they did it when he was making a video. Oh, okay. He has a super speedy Chevy Sonic. I do, but we travel in the Ford Escape. So the Chevy Sonic is the work. I just go to work in that. When we go anywhere, we take the wife's Escape. She drives the Escape around normally. So there you go. I did take it this week in the snow. I took it to work and blasted through the snow with four-wheel drive, intelligent four-wheel drive. So there you go. Trucker Hershey, another definition of corona in Latin is death. Cassius King had good luck with TVC. You need some kind of lawyer on it. Believe me. Beat me, hurt me, make me see your identity. You're late, Roger Penske. It's good to see you. Hoping to get called in for road test this week for a union company. All right, Misty, that's all right. They called me last week. Will that be a pay raise for you? And is that something different than you're doing than all these aggregates? How about that for a big word, since we're talking Latin and stuff? I always managed to get randomly searched by TSA at the airport. I know. How does that work? How does that work in the United States where you're randomly searched? That's not how it works. Free travel. I saw a Celadon trucking operation 2.5 weeks ago in New Mexico. I don't understand it. Where are people still driving these trucks around? It has to be the driver. Oh, no. You know what? They could have sold it. Yeah, but if you black market sold that truck, people would cover the name up. So I sent up for a monthly lawyer, and they assigned me a lawyer for my ticket. I don't know how TVC works. Our folks are extreme upper 30s, dig the Chevy Sonic. Exactly. It's the perfect youthful car for us. With its motorcycle-inspired digital dashboard and high power output, absolutely. I've never seen a teal-colored truck yet from GP Transco. I know, and you're close by, and you can't find one. The camera has stuck it to me twice this year, Misty. See, so if they're getting you, and I agree with this for everybody, if you're at a company that has cameras and you start getting safety problems, you almost have to quit before they fire you, because you do not want to be fired for safety violations, okay? Leaving is one thing, but when they put down this driver was fired for being an unsafe driver, that's not great. And then they lose good drivers, and that isn't right. So if that's happening, you basically have to get out before they boot you out of there, and they'll fire people. They'll fire people for it. Semi on opinions on Hirschbach. Maybe for company driver, which I haven't looked into for a while, but I wouldn't lease a truck there, and they're big on it. M. Hopper, if he hits 88 in a lightning storm, he'll go back in time. 88 in a Sonic. Hey, that sucker will cruise. Let me tell you what. No idea. Instead of driver-facing camera, let's have company-facing guns. Oh, that's good. I don't know about that. I prefer local because I'm a musician. That's true. You have stuff to do. And that's the other thing about local driving. You can have things to do, like a life and other stuff. If road works for you, that's great. But I think there's a lot of unpaid time that needs to be changed. And when we have companies like CRST and US Xpress putting court briefs, they're not even part of the case. That's the thing about it. They're like, oh, we got to get in on this. We're going to put a brief in to say how horrible it is to pay drivers. That's really something when they'll just glom together like that. Clay, my last company let me go and told me to hurry up and get somewhere else before my ticket shows up. That's another thing. If you get a big ticket, I guess you could go get a job immediately if you need one, but eventually it's going to be on there, and you should fight it anyway because it's going to show up. And you'll have to tell the next company because they're going to do that yearly review thing. My experience with driver-facing cameras is they can watch you and listen to you at any time. They say they can do it. All the camera companies say they can do that. Hey, Mark, good to see you on my way to Tennessee from Milwaukee. It's good to see you here. Thank you for being here. Mike Nicolette. There's an app called Off the Record. Oh, I never heard of that. Remember fueling fishing trailers in the 50s? They were bullet-nosed with tractors, were only half the height of the trailer. Right, and they used to put, there also was a big plate that used to stick up on the top of the trailer. If people remember that, I'm sure many of you do. That was kind of rounded off to help your fuel mods so you can get over 5 miles to the gallon. Man, that would have been amazing. Because I remember getting, 4.5, 5, not that long ago. And I cannot imagine a company now getting, 4.5 or 5 miles to the gallon like GP Transco. Can you imagine getting 5 miles to the gallon on all your trucks? You'd be out of business. I mean, how much extra money would that cost? It's an incredible amount of money. So, with hundreds of trucks. Well, because the court is in Esmeralda, Nevada, TVC might just direct me to the lawyer I've been talking to anyway. Maybe. You need, no matter where it is, you have to get a lawyer to get on that. Trucking Journeys is watching from the house. Sweet. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm on an 81-inch 4K television. Mike Nicolette, off the record, you just sent them a picture and they hook up with beating your ticket. Good. Anybody have hours of service or geotab questions? We'll be here till 2. Happy to answer while we're here. I appreciate you being here, Fleet Nav Systems. They were at ELD questions. How about that? How about this? The other day I was signing in and a driver forgot to sign out of a geotab. So that truck had geotab. And it says, do you want to disassociate this driver? And I thought, what if you're teaming? I actually thought about that. What if you're teaming? Can't you have 2 people assigned to geotab? Or is that some kind of company thing because we're not teaming there? Jonathan Shiggs, hey everyone. I'm watching on my way to Arkansas from Texas and Georgia to pick up a new truck. Nomad Trucker. That's super good. 2020, 2021. Eddie McFadden, they're all money laundering laws of why they question large amounts of money. They don't have any right, I say, to question money. They don't have any, so what? It's my property. I'm taking it. See, that's the thing. They don't have any right to intercept you before you get on a plane. They don't have any right to that. I have a deal with a private airline. It's none of their business what I'm doing with it until they've got some kind of thing. Trucking Journeys, what is the eSmart thing? All right, so for Western Express, they have eSmart, which I was just reading about, which apparently they're putting on all their trucks. Maybe it's in all their trucks by now. And so eSmart has a maximum speed assigned based on the speed limit of the road that they're on. It will change the actual maximum speed of the truck based on the road they're on. This is what it said. And it will also geofence off low bridges and restricted routes, including routes that the company does not want you to take. So if there's a route that you're restricted, as soon as you would pass through the geofence, they'll get a message. Hey, you're on the wrong route. You can't go this way. And so it's also, they said it's helping people with low bridges. They don't have any more low bridge strikes like they used to. But it also changes the maximum speed of the truck while you're driving. Based on the road, it's like 5 miles an hour over or something like that. Based on the road that you're on, it changes that. Isn't that interesting? eSmart, it's a new system for trucks. They said they're saving money on it. And they're one of the premier carriers, which I loved in the article. One of the premier carriers in the country is using it. I thought that's hilarious. If a person involved in an accident and fault is put on the report and the other person's fault, that goes down as unpreventable. I think that, what about the company? Can't they call it preventable? Could have been a truck recovery, so I should try and give the company that's self-insured. Most companies self-insured through their first so much money, depending on how size they are. Did I get your email? I did. Thank you very much. I see at least two teal GP Transco trucks a day. I don't see any ever. I think we have a long time before electronic trucks become the norm. Electric trucks, yeah. Peterbilt, absolutely. I mean, some of them are coming out like, look, there's a Kenworth that I saw. It has a 150-mile range. How useful is that? Almost forgot. And by the way, it's good to see you. I almost forgot I saw a teal GP Transco truck headed south on 94. Still on that side of the Illinois-Indiana line, though. Misty, that's why I'm leaving. You almost right. I mean, you just about have to, right? Or they're going to eventually, after so many, they're going to fire you, and it's going to be a safety violation. They're going to fire you for being unsafe. You can't have that. And so they're just going to lose a driver. It doesn't make any sense. I took the job to get home as well, right? But you wouldn't have probably looked around had they not started their shenanigans. What could I do if the company knew the truck I was in wasn't governed because the truck I was in was a sub while mine was in the shop? Nothing. Probably nothing on that. So do you have a contract to fly with Delta? No. Are the airports government owned or otherwise have government authority? That is probably how the TSA is allowed to do them. So you have a contract to fly with Delta? Yes. Right. I bang a ticket. Are the airports government owned? The Indianapolis airport? I don't know who owns the airport, honestly. or have a government authority. I don't care who owns it. The government owns the roads, and I still rent a car from Enterprise. The government has no say in any of that. And Enterprise is at the airport. Okay, I can go to this same airport, rent a car at the airport rental car, and the government has no say in that. They don't get to search my bags before I put it in a car. I don't like it. It's America, for crying out loud. I work to live. I don't live to work. That is a very good way to do it. What's the best way to check your DAC report, Monkey Voodoo? You just go to Higher Right and get a free copy of it. American #1 Trump. P&S doesn't pay. All right. What's your opinion on John Christer trucking lease purchase? Horrible. $1.05 a mile. I mean, it's called the Go Broke program here. The pay is low. Like $1.05. There's some owner operators on here. $1.05, not going to cut it. I think most sell-it-on trucks and trailers people are buying, they're picking up the trailers the company's purchased. I don't know why the trucks are still driving around the roads. Once you get the truck, you stick a sign over the sell-it-on thing. Mike, I have an Explorer. Unless you're rich enough to buy a Land Rover, Ford is the only way to go. They have the best patents. Look, we got the Escape because it was the perfect size for the wife to get in and out of, because she's having her joints replaced and stuff now. So it's the right height. We went and looked at an Edge, Explorer, and all these other. The Escape was the perfect seat height to like in and out easily. So perfect. So we had an Escape. We had an older one. We get trading, got another one. So we love it. And this one, all-wheel drive, can't get stuck. I'm all set. Ken, Patriot Act needs to go away. Yes. Ham's Beer would be mad if they said disease from the land of the sky blue waters. That brewery would be mad. I know, but I didn't realize this was a Latin. I think that's super interesting, actually. Alexander had to pay both Missouri and Indiana state taxes. I got back like $105. Well, you're still money ahead. I thought you were going to say you owed like $8,000 or something. Do I know anything about TDI school? No, I don't even know where it is. Where is it? I don't do it. Sure not why. Carry that kind of cash, but some still don't trust banks. Okay, I can go with that. You don't trust a bank, I get it. But you have to know, going into an airport with $190,000, you're not coming out of the airport with your money. You cannot fly with that kind of money. He had it on a carry-on, for crying out loud. Okay, you cannot do that. Rent a car. John Christer's getting sued for unpaid time right now. Yes, they're in court. They have a big case against them over this lease purchase thing as well. I'm afraid of getting another job in the company running my PSP and my CDL getting a suspension. And now I'm out 300 miles from my home trying to figure out how to get home. See, this is 300 miles. That's not terrible. Can somebody come and get you? I mean, 300 miles is not, if you need a ride home, just have somebody at your house come and get you or something like that. Something, rent a car, whatever, something like that. But at least have somebody come and get you. Own my own truck, but I'm leased on which a company's pulling containers. I'm considering owner-operator because I do pay for my fuel. I'm considered an owner. Am I considered an owner-operator? I own the truck, yeah, but I'm leased on. Look, with AB5, no. You're still doing trucking work, but as of currently, because it got held up, I think you are, because you're paying for your fuel and maintenance, and it's your truck. Civil forfeiture is what they call confiscating money, even your house. Cops do it all the time. I agree, Ruth. I agree, and I don't like it. If they pull you over, you got money, they take your car and your money. And then you have to go sue them and say, hey, that's legal. That isn't right. That's not how America's supposed to work. Until you're convicted of something, they don't have any right to take your stuff. I get ripped on zip to zip. I agree. That is not the best way to do it. Okay, FleetNav systems. Teaming co-drivers can both log into NAP, but the GeoTab they currently have to log into the same phone or tablet. Oh, that's why. All right. He was using his phone, and I'm using the tablet in the truck. Got it. Search GeoTab co-drivers to see the video on this. All right, so if you both log into the same device, you can both be logged in. But when you're logging into a separate device, one's out, one's in. What? Okay, I was thinking, what if two of you are teaming without a tablet, but I guess both of you would have to log into one of the people's phones if you're using the phones. Got it. If you got a pop-up that another driver's logged in, it means he's logged in via a different device. And so when you log into a separate device, it will just pop him right off of it because it said, do you want to disassociate this driver? I'm like, disassociate him immediately. Working for free, and these people would have to pay better for all time worked. Oh, I agree. They have zero incentive to pay people any money when they will work for no money. Is that the real Roger Penske? Yes, absolutely. Michael Muller, GM is reopening Lordstown plant to build the electric car pickup truck. Exactly. That'll be wonderful. They'll sell 500 of them. Do all beef loads out of Dodge City, are they all bad? I don't know. The teal color adds 50 pounds of torque. That's correct. Those are high torque colors. Pretty sure you're on duty when you're being loaded. You want to check out with your local DOT. Probably depends on what's expected. Absolutely. I think you're on duty because you can't pursue activities of your own choosing. Light colored trucks get better torque. I love it. Almost like companies don't care if you get fired. That's true. And that's sad because they always care. Oh, we can't get enough people. I see all these. U.S. Xpress is still running $12,000 sign-on bonuses. Oh, but then they'll fire you. No problem. And they'll go against drivers on a lawsuit where they'll just poke their nose in where it doesn't belong. Why do beer loads seem so top heavy? Seems like a lot of trucks rolling over after leaving Anheuser-Busch. That's terrible. Airports are privately owned. Most have a police department plus the TSA. Okay, so Indianapolis Airport is where we fly out of. The wife flies out of. Use a cheap separate wallet on vacation, driver's license, credit card, and that's all. Okay. Is Celadon closed for good now? Yes, they are done. They just sold the terminal in Canada. Pam's buying their Laredo terminal, and it just saw they sold the terminal in Canada. Heidemann. You need to be on duty for loading and unloading if you're physically in the warehouse counting or unloading. The thing is, off duty says, can you pursue activities of your own choosing? So if you're in your truck and you could not go to the movie, have an Uber pick you up and leave, you are on duty. There seems to be unlimited newbies to use. That's true. That's true. And they don't know. And that's the problem. I'm not really mad at people because when they're getting in the industry, they don't know. And the recruiter's like, oh, you'll make $2,000 a week in your first 6 weeks or whatever. And they don't know. They don't know. So what are they supposed to know? They think trucking, they see, which I just saw, right? Knights of the Road, right? Oh, we're the Knights of the Road making millions of dollars. And so then they come in and then they write to me and they're like, I'm making $300 a week. What do I do? Because they got hosed at one of these places. Cassius King, some airports in the USA are owned by government agencies, federal, state, county, town, and some are privately owned. Well, who knows what's up with Indy Airport? All these lawsuits over driver pay, why doesn't the FMCSA step in and straighten out all the companies about the rules? Well, because the rules right now say you don't have to pay people. What we need is Congress to change the law, okay, so that transportation is not exempted from hourly wages and overtime. That's what needs to happen. That's the first step, because then the companies would have no choice but to pay you. Trucking journeys, I just got a call from dispatch. They asked me why I had to buy 4 new wiper blades. I may or may not have broken 3 wiper blades with the fuel island squeegee. Oh, dang. So they're on top of that. Why are you buying? Where are you getting wiper blades? Just at the truck stop? You can just put on the card? That's pretty nice. Another thing, co-drivers are the only ones who can have logs moved from one driver to another. If you claim logs that aren't yours, they aren't allowed to be moved off. Must be annotated. Oh, that's interesting. So because I always skip. Whatever it says on there, I skip it. In case the truck was being driven. Skip it. I never accept anybody else's logs. But okay, that's pretty good. And I think that's interesting about the 2 devices. So that's something that I didn't know about how that worked. Michael, did I hear about a person that was hit by a semi walking on I-94? See people walking all the time. Don't know if they have a death wish. Richard C. There was somebody walking home Friday night. I'm driving home. It's like 3 a.m. Driving home, Sonic, flying, of course, at 40, speed limit. And somebody's walking in the street. Black clothes, black shoes. What are you doing? There's a sidewalk. Like, holy moly. Getting ready, Michael Muller, but my son has Jeep Commanders, so we assume we have 3 Commanders. That's pretty good. You have a half of them that are still on the road. Roger Penske, when you rent a car, you must have insurance. You're subject to government regulations. I agree. You do have to have it. You can buy their insurance, though. You could buy their, which I always do because I'm going to wreck that thing. You know how many burnouts you can do in a rental car? A lot. I think I made $67,000 last year, got back $1,500, and owe the state $3. You're still money ahead. The bug scrubber wipers are tough and last. You be careful with your wipers. I thought this was about tractor-trailer operations. It is. TSA goes easy when you show them your TWIC card. Oh, I never thought about that. I don't have one. I don't know, Mark. It's a fine line. I'm sure people in Boston and New York that got on those flights thought they had contracts with the airlines. They do. And if the airlines do a better job, they would. Look, I'm not giving up my safety, for doing that. I'm not doing it. So I'd rather risk it and be free. Okay, otherwise, why don't we just have a cop while everybody around? I'm not on that side of it. Take your freedom and take a risk on it. TDI is located in Tupelo. Okay, it's IND. I would say the $190,000 was for one meal at the airport food court. Yeah, that's true too, right? And a book at the in the counter there. I bought. By the way, this TSA thing, they were taking money to go buy trucks, so that's how this relates to trucking. This guy, apparently his company, sent him to go buy semis, so they say. Okay, but that's all we have to go on. They gave him $191,000 in cash and was going to go fly somewhere to buy semis with the money in cash. So the company is saying, look, the money is legitimate. So that's how this relates back to trucking. I bought $25 heated wipers at Walmart and they work awesome. That's great. Why don't companies put that in? That's why I thought about those scrub blades. I hit them with a squeegee. Yikes. TDI has 11 locations in 7 states. One of those about 20 miles from me. Yeah, the trucking schools, there's so many of them. And each state has different rules on what it has to do. Each school has different rules. So my best bet to tell you on truck schools is to actually look at reviews, because it's so easy for people to post reviews about them. That's all you can kind of do, and see if you can go poke your nose around in there early or whatever. If you get rid of the Patriot Act, airlines will have to hire private security and you'll be subject to the same search. They have the right and obligation to protect passengers. That's different. Then I can decide based on the level of security of the airline which one I'd like to fly. And you may get better security. Now they have no incentive to provide that same security. So, and I would decide then. But here is the government stepping into somewhere where they have no business to do. Otherwise, if it was private security, I could say, all right, Delta does this. And Southwest, because the ticket's $18, they just let you on the plane, right? Delta, it's more expensive. You get more security. You'd get to decide your level of security and stuff like that. And they could only do the things that people want. Nobody likes being searched like that. And it just isn't right. It just isn't right. And they have a right and obligation to protect the passengers. Well, so does Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Is it true that when self-driverless trucks become the norm, there will see need for truckers and different kind of freight? Well, self-driving trucks, which you may see, will come out eventually. Yeah, how did you get heated wipers for Freightliner? Are you just putting the car ones on there? Michael's getting $9,000 back on taxes. Wow, roller wieners for everybody. What would happen to companies like Landstar if every single state passed a similar AB5 law? They'd have a huge problem. What happens is they want you to incorporate. So you're doing a business-to-business transaction. You can't be an independent contractor under AB5. You have to start your own business, stick your name on the truck, Joe Smith Trucking Incorporated, and then you lease your business services out to a company like Landstar. All right, we'll hire a couple of companies to do work for us. They want that out of it. You can't just say, okay, I'm an independent contractor. That's not how it's going to work. I say when driverless trucks become widespread, they'll be regulated, same as airplanes, and the autopilot is fine and dandy, but you need a pilot there on duty. It's going to be so long before you don't see anybody in the truck. Oh my gosh. Wilbon79, good afternoon, and Trucking Answer fans. Hello there, it's good to see you. Clay, I made $38,000 last year, and I bring back $800 return. Well, but you got a lot of that throughout the year, right? You made $38 after per diem. Chris Keller, how are you doing? Sorry I'm late. Hey, it's good to see you anyway. So what would you say? How much did you get in per diem over the year? That's a good question. How much did you get over the year in per diem? Kenneth, when I quit Prime to get the local job, they didn't give me a ride home. I rented a car one way. Prime is not known for giving people rides home. I will say that. When they fire you or quit, I get a letter a week from there where you get fired out of orientation, whatever. They just show you the door. Keep a metal copy of the Bill of Rights in your pocket for the airport. Yeah, let them search that. What about this new rule, something like AB5? Well, okay, what about it? What do you propose? The company I'm at has a dedicated account I want to transfer, but my current fleet manager is blocking it, and that's who I have to go through. What should I do? Godfather, quit and rehire? No, you ought to go above them. If you have a fleet manager, there's somebody above the fleet manager. Keep going up the chain and saying, hey, this is what I want to do. Do I have to quit to get it? Do I have to go somewhere else? I mean, just go right up the chain. Cash is King Trucking got my heated wipers as a kid on eBay for $200. I installed it. I turn them on when I get ice buildup. All right, that's pretty good. Are they listed for like a truck or are they for a car? 3 kids gets you more cash. Oh, that's right. You're getting all the money. I tried to put the cat on there, but they wouldn't have any of it. Just joined the stream. I was on duty working in the office. Columbia, George. All right, still in the office. Sell it on selling their equipment. I just saw sell it on trailer hooked up to a Schneider truck. They are right. They said it's going to be being sold. Absolutely. And it's possible people are driving the trucks back, but I think that I'd cover that up. I wouldn't have any part of it. The government's the answer to our problems, no doubt. Are there any good companies to start with that offer training? And can us GI bill it? Yeah, there are. I had a number of people write to me about Werner that, they do a good job with the GI Bill. So, and they work really good with it. So, I didn't use it there, but absolutely. The Indianapolis Airport Authority is a municipal corporation established by the Indiana Assembly in 1962. All right. They'll probably use a variation of the RICO Act to see the money. You can't occasionally get it back in federal court, but you have to prove it's not profits from illicit. Right, but that, I agree, Kelly, right? That's what they're doing. I just don't agree with them doing it. You don't have to go to court to prove you didn't do anything. They should have to go to court and prove you did do something. That's how everything else works. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? I had to quit trucking because I made a local drug dealer look bad in Southern California. That's one reason to get out of it. I think at some point Geotab will change so that you can log in via 2 different devices for co-drivers. No word on when if that'll happen. So right now, 2 co-drivers who are teaming would have to log in on one person's phone if the truck didn't have a tablet or some other device to log into. Last year I ran teams and my co-driver ran 1 hour on my time. They need to have a Switch account log password. You need a password to log in but not Switch. Seems wrong to me. That's not good. He goes, I got some time going here. President's Day live show giveaway. Oh, that would be just great. If you need it, have a live show giveaway. That's awesome, GP Transco. Let's see what people think about that. I think that they're going to like that. And cheapest place to buy tires is Pomps for your car. Okay, I go to the dealer to get the tires because Ford here has a deal. You find tires cheaper anywhere else, they'll match it even 30 days after you buy the tires. So no matter where you find them cheaper, Ford puts them on at the dealership and you don't pay any more than you would pay anywhere else. Ford, right? Quality is job one. I still want my sock. Oh, that's right, the sock thing. I forgot about that. I saw 4 teal trucks on I-80 in Pennsylvania yesterday. I don't understand it. Logs, if you're doing anything work-related, loading or unloading, period, paperwork, or on duty. Absolutely. All that is totally on duty. A TV to install in your truck, 40 inches is a good size for a semi. Wow. Would a 40-inch TV fit in a semi? That's bigger than the TV in my bedroom. That's my living room TV. Come on, that's 39 inches. Are you kidding? That's a big TV in a truck. That I don't know. I'd like to hear about that. Too many commanders are not enough Indians, referring to the motorcycles. Oh, sweet. Companies love these beginners. A free George Washington wig giveaway. Recently found out that Smith runs a few team trucks. We don't really have team freight, but income with a partner and they're willing to let you do it. Well, if they don't have team freight, though, they're going to have some unhappy teams. They need to keep people rolling in a team, right? Why didn't they wire the money? Look, why didn't he just rent a car or take a cashier's check or something? Even though he has a right to do it, some things you have a right to do, but you don't do them. Like I've always said to people, oh, why didn't, like a bad neighborhood in Chicago. Oh, the Robert Taylor homes when I was going by there, okay. The police wouldn't even come down there a lot of times, okay, while Bill knows where they used to be. Walking around the neighborhood, it's legally allowed for me to wave $100 bills around while I'm walking down, count them loud and everything. That's legal, but that's not a good idea because unlikely somebody's going to take them from me. Okay, so although it's legal, there are some things you just shouldn't do. And taking this money up there to get these trucks, it's legal, but it's just not a good idea. We're actually sending in hats and socks this week. That's sweet. 40 inches trucker Hershey seems like a big TV. Michael Muller made $70,000, man, and get back 3 on Fed, but 730. I'm gonna get $100 from Indiana. That's not terrible, right? $191,000. I'd go buy a new day cab that gets rid of the Volvo I'm assigned to. I don't know how many trucks he was supposed to buy, and they did let him keep $10,000, which I think is pretty interesting. So you do end dump work with it. My best friend is a cat. Together, I travel with him everywhere. Yeah, the cat, wherever I'm going, the cat's going to go, right? Nope, you don't leave your animals or anything. That's always aggravating to me. Too big or too small. 40 inches these days have thin edges that are actually pretty small. I'm just looking at this 39-inch TV thinking, would that thing fit in a truck? And that's my biggest TV set here. So not to live in the Lambo lifestyle. I sought to sell it on trailers at FedEx in Atlanta. And one sitting at the Freightliner dealer off I-75 in Atlanta. Did you make an offer? For $191, you get a fully decked out 389 road truck with all the bells and whistles. Yeah, they didn't really suggest what kind of company. I got the impression he was going to buy like several used trucks with it. Maybe he would deck them and take them all back with him, really. Large fleet out of Wisconsin, who we all know, says that all collisions are preventable by both sides. There are no innocent operators in a collision. Oh, sweet. Presumably the person at that fleet that we know out of Wisconsin that said that doesn't drive. That all collisions are preventable. Add Springfield, Missouri Walmart to the list of trucker unfriendly locations. Paul Blart will drive up in his pretend police car before he can pull off the brake knobs. Nice. Paul Blart. The Patriot Act violates the Constitution. I agree. Look, they have no right to search you before you've done anything wrong and take your stuff without a trial. Do you feel like it's a long time before they become a thing? Oh, yeah. And self-driving and electric trucks. Look, Volvo's got one that's got 250 miles electric range, and it's a day cab. Okay, it's a long time before they get these things on the road. It's self-driving. Oh my gosh, Teslas are still running into things. I'm not allowed in the truck or the warehouse. The TV room watching The Weather Girl. Is this on or off duty? Can you pursue activities of your own choosing? That's what the DOT says, FMCSA. To be off duty, you have to be able to pursue activities of your own choosing. And it can't be like go in that room and pursue activities of your own choosing. That's not an activity of your own choosing. You have to be able to go wherever you want in an activity of your own choosing. So I would say that's on duty time. Clay, so self-driving truck gets pulled over and is violation of whatever reason. Who gets the ticket, the truck or the company? And this is all the stuff they have to work out. It has an accident. Who's at fault? It breaks down. All this stuff. Who decides? Now, presumably, it won't get many tickets. But the officer could be wrong and want to write it a ticket because it's got all the sensors. They don't speed, which they said is super aggravating to people because they showed one going down like a construction zone that was really a slow construction zone and a huge line of vehicles behind it. So that's surprising. Ruth, thank you. Get Gracie a treat. I will, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much for that. She's going to get a treat out of that, too. When she wakes up, of course. I had a very good conversation with Ashley Furniture. That's where I'm starting. Tom Bailey, I appreciate that. What did they say? No cameras. You can legally put Gracie on Good X for any prescriptions you need for her. Really? She doesn't get any prescriptions yet, and she has medical insurance at the vet. So all of her vet visits and stuff are free. You can go in as many times as you want and stuff like that. But that's pretty good. I'll look that up when she gets a little bit older. She's about 8 years old. When you read Google reviews about a company, it makes you think twice. On some of them, it does. The ones from Walmart just wire into the battery, and you have a temperature sensor that turns the heating element on at 32 degrees. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So you could put it on any vehicle, literally. Werner, for all their faults, is a good company. They have a majority of good dispatchers and a lot of freight. They just don't pay well in the grand scheme. I know, but and I hear you. With the GI Bill, it will pay more. And from people that have written to me that have used it at Werner, they do a pretty good job of it there. It's probably a pretty good place to start that way. GI Bill, I'm a former VCA with the VA and administered the GI Bill. Highly recommended vets rethink their usage of the bill for the CDL. I don't know if it's called the GI Bill. There's a way for veterans to get extra pay through trucking and stuff like that. What do you think about, what are you saying about it, though? I used to run Anheuser-Busch a lot, too, although that's heavy. Right, it's just heavy and loose. Most of the large aren't secured. I agree, especially kegs. Especially the back, there it is, of kegs, right. You get these kegs, there's like 3 kegs across. They're sitting there like, what are you supposed to do with these? Don't have their own chassis yet, from what I understand, but they have containers. 40-inch TV in a truck, I guess you could call that a theater experience. No doubt. I mean, I don't know if it would fit in the truck. Just started last week. Voices come from driver facing camera when I'm drinking coffee. Really? Really? Where is that? Where did I miss that? The new Smith VP operations saw the video. Thought it was cool. That's great. Tell them, tell them to come on the show and say hello or whatever. I'd appreciate that. Or just write to me and, whatever. 40-inch tube TV fell last week and broke both your feet. Okay, so when we moved in here, I had I don't know how big it is, maybe 27-inch tube TV, And I carried it up the stairs here, and I thought, forget that. When we move, I'm leaving it here. It doesn't work anymore, and I don't know what's going to happen to it, but I'm not doing anything with it. Have you seen the new Walmart 53-foot shipping containers? No, that'd be something to see. Gracie's a dependent. She should be for all the costs that it costs. Absolutely. Considering all the costs. Started last week. Voices coming from camera, so I didn't see where that was. Costco private fleet, 130,000. Where's there a Costco private fleet? I know that Costco, because I used to live up there, Swift was doing the one over on 80. That Costco Swift was all about that. I don't remember ever seeing a company truck come out of there for Costco. At Palms, I got a 3-year warranty for any damage. I have to buy another tire somewhere else. They bring a receipt, reimburses you. Michael Muller, well, okay, at Ford, I have what's called Ford Triple Care. When I get my cars, I get that. It covers the cost of tires, glass, and dents and dings for the entire time that you own the car, no matter where you buy the tires. So that's Ford Triple Care. And so a tire, which these thin sidewall tires, like this thing is, 40s on it. So they go flat, 45s, right? I think they go flat all the time. I get new tires put in all the time at Ford. And that's part of the new car purchase, and that covers the entire time you own it. So there's that. From what I understand, they're pulling their own reefer trailer now. There goes Sierra England. Oh, yikes. What are they going to do about it? They could build a special truck lane that has a pull chain embedded in the road, pull your truck alone, similar to what pulls a roller coaster uphill. They could do the prime trucks if the chain went more than 58 miles an hour. Why don't you call a day cab when I work a night shift? Oh, no doubt. Right. That's what it should be. I hear you, too, and I'm in on that. 10,000 is the max you can carry in cash on a flight, but a cashier's check would be okay. So what they should have just given him cashier's checks for, say, $10,000 amounts, Here thought I was a baller having a 32-inch in my truck. No doubt. I mean, 40 is a big TV set. We're going to ask the maintenance people what max TV size would feel comfortable installing. We'll order the largest size that fits. Please start the giveaway whenever. Okay, so we can get with the TV later. Yeah, because I thought, wow, I'm just looking at my 39-inch, and I thought, man, that's a big TV set. So I always like to use 13. I'm going to write that down here. I'm going to use 13. Where did my... right here. Okay, so this is great here, right here. Also, we'll start a timer, and just like that. Can we hear it clicking? There's the clicking of the timer. So, no purchase is necessary, as they say, which there's rules in the description. And when the timer goes off, I will count back 13 from the bottom of the comments, even if I'm not down there, which I'm generally not. And I will count back 13, and that person will be the winner. And when that happens, I'll ask you to put your area code in the comments, and then email me your address, and the email is on the screen there for you. And we'll get you the TV set that fits in your truck, apparently from GP Transco. So thank you very much for that. I don't guarantee a truck color, but I do guarantee $1,000 a week there, because that's what they have, as long as you meet what they're saying. And there's some information about GP Transco. So there we go. And back we go here. Some people really ask for trouble with this cash. I mean, you're carrying a lot of money. What if somebody stole it, too? Oh, what if he just said somebody stole it? I ran out west with a guy from Cuba. I have no idea, but he pulled the trailer brakes at 70. It wasn't a fun day. It was fired, and wouldn't explain why he did that. Nice. If you conduct any business in the United States, you're subject to the Universal Commercial Code. That's why you can't sue people for shoddy workmanship and failure to pay. Okay, I mean, you should be able to carry money around if you want, though. Will self-driving trucks have collision warning? Probably. Just wait until pranksters figure that out. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will, right. Problem with self-driving truck, no insurance companies want to deal with it. The biggest issue now, only self-insured companies can do it. It's going to be the big companies anyway. The first ones to do it will be the larger companies. They're the only ones that are going to be able to afford the trucks, much less the insurance. Trucking has a high dropout rate of drivers. I'm sure you are aware. It does. Blame the fact that you're randomly searched on the ACLU. It prohibits them from doing good police profiling. Well, they won't profile me there because I don't fly. I'll just drive right by the airports. A self-driving truck delivered butter from California to Pennsylvania. I did see that, but there were two people in the truck. It wasn't self-driving, just so you know. There was a driver and an engineer in there. Number from the VA on that program is high dropout rates. Oh, is what you're saying. So if you drop out, are you not? Can you not do it again somewhere else? Isn't that legit somewhere else? Hey, or O'Vannon from Canada. Hello there. Once a vet uses that GI Bill, it's gone and cannot be replaced for use in college or university. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of college or university, but I see what you're saying. So when, you got to really decide then, once you use it, that that's the place you want to use it. And presumably, if you drop out of college or university, which also has a dropout rate, you couldn't then use it to go to truck school. I guess it would be either way. So if you're going to use the bill, decide what you want to do. My laptop has a 17-inch screen and watch movies on it. That's big enough to see, maybe 24 inches. I just don't know if a 39-inch TV will fit in there. Depends on the truck. My dad's 250 was found on the road. Dad, that's not great, Alexandra. That's not, Fords are the best. Your company camera only looks outward. That's the way it should be. You saw Crete cab over yesterday. I'm not sure it was an owner-operator. It has to be. Crete on the door pulling a Schaefer trailer. It was absolutely an owner-operator. Someone ought to tell Western Express driver a comp check without authorization number is considered a bad check. Yes. It's not your money. You could probably bring all the change that you want, but the paper money is not $1. Oh, I wonder if you brought it in change. What's the word on Cisco? The word is good. They're advertising here just this weekend. $75,000 to start. Home generally within 24 hours, which I think is an interesting way to put it. Most routes less than 24 hours. So I thought that was you'll have to talk to them about that. I got caught loaded to 80,000 with the end dump last week because the bridge light can only load to 73,000. That's a problem. You're overweight. Just saw a Celadon truck pulling a Celadon reefer on I-80 westbound. Yeah, they seem to be hitting the roads again. That's something. That's really something. Another giveaway from GP Transco, says Wow Bell, right? Or you could carry postage stamps. They are on it for Federal Reserve notes at any post office. You can exchange them either way. Robots need driving jobs also. I don't know why people don't ever think of robots that need to drive. Just because something is a robot doesn't need to make a living too. Remember Rosie, the robot? Okay, she had a job. I'm glad I got a long time before I have to worry about self-driving trucks, because the only thing I want to be is a long-haul trucker. You got no problem. You're going to have a whole career in driving. And there's going to be parts of the industry like heavy haul and weird size stuff and all that can never be taken over. Oil field work, I could see that being a real problem. There's lots of problems of work that it's going to be 100 years before they figure out how to drive themselves. Sir England will have 3 computers in the trucks. They'll still put 3 in there no matter what. They're going to put 3. Michael Cole's going to get a TV with his taxes. That's good. PFS, Performance Food Service Group. I watch a lot of your videos, and I just want to say thank you because I was about to go to work for Stevens. You're quite welcome. I hope you found somewhere better to go. Although I didn't have much experience with them because they wouldn't talk to me. Alexander, the U.S. has a severe shortage of blue-collar workers, make an honest living, and work in a trade. That's totally true. People don't want to do it. There's people that are just not trying to get jobs that are available to them. And certainly if you can work, you should work. We can all agree to that. Do something. Kenneth, I just won $1 million, but you have to be in California by 9 a.m. tomorrow. What do you do? Well, that's a problem. I mean, I don't fly. And I could be in California by 9 in the morning tomorrow. No problem. No. Look, I'm not flying. This hypothetical stuff. I'm not being searched. I don't give up, that kind of thing for perceived safety, which you don't get anyway. You don't get it anyways. How big of a TV could you fit in a 2013 Volvo day cab? I have a spot that I just lost here. Okay, so where did I go? I have a 16-inch 12-volt TV I got for $30. Yeah, I'm thinking something in the 20s after looking at the TV. Is U.S. Foods a good company? Yeah, U.S. Food Service, right? I would say, yeah. Any of these kind of food deliveries, you're going to do some work. But generally, you're going to be home more, but you're going to work more. And some of them have a pay system where you pay a penny for this and 10 cents for that. Yeah, absolutely. The Peterbilt 359 wrecker, nice. I saw going down the highway had a big bunk on the back. Yeah, some of them coast to coast, these things. Cameras facing the driver seem like an invasion of privacy. I agree. They don't seem like it. They are. I hope that never happens to you, Well, Bill, by the way. They say no one had to take over driving. That's what they say, but we have no idea. We really don't know because they won't release anything, right? Welding is a good job. I have a certified gap test if I have to leave trucking, Alexander. Yeah, that's something else too, right? Cisco works you. That I agree with that. I've always said it's work. Perhaps the best way to do this is ask the winner what TV sides would fit in their truck. After they're announced, as different people have different trucks. Yeah, maybe, right. I think 3940 is going to be a big TV in a truck. I think you'd have to mount it on the bunk upstairs or whatever. He will drive 88 in his car going back in time once each day and still get there. No doubt. And I'd still get good gas mileage doing it. The Sonic gets almost 40 on the highway. I want $100,000 a year, tons of experience with all endorsements. Where'd I go for $100,000 and I never want to go home? All right. Where are you going to go? What do people say about getting $100,000? Well, you can maybe not quite 100, but you could talk to these people and get you close to 100. How about that? That's one thing you could do. When self-driving trucks are the normal steering, we'll still have 3 bunks in the truck. Yeah, because like Casual's King, they'll have 3 computers in there still. Cisco was not great. You wouldn't recommend the one in Minneapolis. The hours of service written allowed 12 hours a time in 1938, but was overruled 5 days later by the newly formed ICC, who changed it to 10 hours. And it was that way until 2004. Yeah, we just have been changing it around a bunch. Mark is Mr. T from the stream. That's great. And Clay, in study, there are less and less people are walking around with cash. It's too sketchy walking around downtown on a Friday night with $1,000 in cash when you can call your bank for safety. But it's still legal to do so, right? So it's legal to do so, but it just may not be a good idea to do so. Jeff is watching the show on a 75-inch 4K TV. Is that in your truck, though? There's no way that fits in a truck. Holy mackerel. That's something that I've only seen like in catalogs. I've never even seen one in person. Cisco in Minneapolis is hiring people as casual drivers. No benefits, low pay, no union rep. But hey, you can wear like open collared shirts with eagle necklaces on them, and you just walk in like, what's up, dudes? I'm just here to do some work or whatever. There's already 7 computers in your 2020 Freightliner. They're just casual drivers. They go, you want to work today? Goes, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not doing anything. Flying isn't that bad if you fly business class. It seems to get you through security faster. The wife, all right. The wife flies Delta first class to see her son every year, and she has to go through the same line as everybody else. It doesn't seem to help. So I don't know about that. And I don't know, upgrading your class doesn't seem to upgrade your TSA experience, because I watch her go through the line before she goes down to the terminal, because you can't go, if you don't have a ticket, you can't go through the line anyway. My brother left his corporate cubicle to get his plumbing license, good money, and does it just part-time. That's the number 2 job that people go into, I heard. I saw an eastbound selling out on 30, Arkansas. So they must be selling must be selling these like crazy. Robot dispatchers will still be hated by the drivers. Yes, they'll be hated by the robot drivers. Most food companies are physical work, some driving with lots of stops. Yeah, it's tons of stops. Be a good backer and expect to do work. Alexander went to trade school for plumbing, but changed over to welding. I prefer welding. I don't have to fit in small areas. All right. I think it's a cleaner job, too. I'm still in school and you need a TV? Right. Hopefully there's not a lot of TV watching time. 100,000 is realistic. You can get 100 at places. How long do you think it will take for these big American carriers to phase out the International ProStar? Oh, hopefully sooner than later. All the Max Forces are gone, from what I understand. I saw an ad for a 219-inch TV. They call it the wall. That would be sweet. I don't think I have a 219-inch wall. I don't need a TV, so why am I posting? Hey, Mark, you're not going to believe this. You saw a GP Transco truck here in Caddo Valley, Arkansas, and it's teal colored. I don't know. I don't believe it. I haven't seen one. Don't believe it. Don't think they're around. Of course, you get through safety. When's the last time the United States airline was hijacked or blown up? Okay, under that theory, we take everybody's gun. Hey, then, when's the last time anybody was shot? I'm not in. I'll sacrifice safety for freedom. I have an Oculus virtual reality system with the headphones. You can get IMAX experience sitting in your bunk. Nice. Holy mackerel. What are you going to do when you go local with that? Just take it home. That's too casual. Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do today. Like, dude. Oh, he goes, that's one of our casual drivers. Best Buy in Sarasota Springs has your new TV that covers the back wall. Man, I'll check that out on the Best Buy site. My self-driving truck is a casual truck. You saw 60-inch Volvo 780. That would be nice too. The symptoms predicted self-driving trucks, they're coming. I'm not saying they're not coming. They're coming. You're not going to be able to stop them. They're coming, but they're not coming anytime soon. They can't figure. Look, the thing doesn't even goes off at bridges. You know, the radar in the front of trucks, and it starts raining. The thing turns off. No way. Lots of duct tape and bungee cords to hold that TV up there, right? Healthy Highwayman. Work when we travel to other states. I always drive while others fly. Exactly. That's the only way to. It's the only way to travel. You can stop when you want and all that. Yeah, and look, you're like in a coronavirus tube too. Think about that. I'm getting 28 an hour pulling an end dump. That's really good. $1,200 a week minimum guaranteed. Okay, get some kind of minimum, right? Of 1,000 or more. Get a minimum and hope you never need it. But on the weeks when you sit, like you're sitting in Wyoming or something, you're going to be glad that you have a guaranteed pay. My TVs are all at the house, so you got to argue with my wife, and she wins. Sweet. Went to trade school for to be a bricklayer, like a masonry expert. I had an uncle that was a mason, but not the secret handshake kind. I love the TSA. When is the last time a jet crashed into a high-rise building? Suck it up and enjoy that pat-downs. No, I don't do it. There's that. So I'm going to the bottom right here, to the bottom of my page. Where's my bottom? 1, 2, 3. That's a weird way to say it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Michael Cole is number 13 on my page. So I'm writing that down. Okay, please put your zip code in, Michael Cole, and that's how we'll do that. Your zip code, right. So, can I get 100,000 living in Florida? I don't know if you can get 100,000 driving a truck in Florida. Maybe. I don't see, why not? TLD Logistics out of Crossville, Tennessee. I think they've given me a new drivers a chance. It seems like a great company. I've recommended TLD to a number of people that live in Kentucky, Tennessee area. They get best fleets to drive for many years in a row and do a lot of logistics hauling, which is better than anything, really, is better than general freight. And so TLD, and they get a lot of good reviews. So I'm glad that you're doing good there, and they have a training program and everything. Absolutely. But you got to live in that area. You got to live down there. So. But if people write to me, Kentucky, Tennessee, I'm like, oh, yeah, TLD, right. How long do we have before automation takes over? 5 to 10 years? Oh, no way. No way. 25 years plus. What's the main difference between a ProStar and an LT aside from the name and the headlight differences? They're both international, so ProStar was horrible. I didn't like it at all. I saw a lot of GP Transco in Illinois and Wisconsin, but not here. I'm going to look at their map. I think their hiring map is going to show Indiana's blacked out or something. I'm fixing to go to... They go, if you live there, we can never get you home because we can't send our teal trucks there. I'm fixing to go to a trucking company in Indiana so I don't have to pay out-of-state taxes. So glad I moved back to Indiana. Yeah, welcome back, by the way. Welcome to the great state of Indiana. There's more than corn here, by the way, as you well know. You see the shooting in Oklahoma City of the truck driver? Yes. If I win, I'll settle for proof of the teal-colored truck. That's all I want. I want some kind of notarized proof. The Healthy Highwayman. Thank you, GP Transco, for the TV. I saw a teal GP Transco truck in Alcova, Louisiana, and I forgot to take a picture for you. Okay, I believe you. I'm seeing pictures of these, but I don't see them in person. So I don't know if they have one truck and they stage the pictures. I'm not sure how that works. That guy with 190,000 could have been buying 1,000 ProStars with Max Force. Yeah, no doubt, right? Because what are those things worth? Would you ever buy one of those? Even if they're free, they're not really worth driving around because they break down all the time. I just took a picture of it. You're sending it. Oh, okay, I appreciate it. If you are in the United States, where did I go off with this here? What is the international? It looks like a choo-choo train on a PT Cruiser at steroids. Sweet. GP Transco should give away a teal-colored truck. GP Transco treats me better than the company I currently work for. Right, that's the thing. We get treated better by them than me, too. I got to beg them for a hat from my company, and they're on here giving away TVs and stuff. You can't get a TV at my company. They'll be like, no, you can put your own TV in. So I totally agree, and I thank you very much. Let's see. There's some information right there for GP Transco. Write that down and give them a call. When you give up your freedom for safety, you lose both. Exactly. I'd rather drive than have somebody pat me down at the airport. If you get paid right, you won't owe your soul to the company. Mount the TV to your dash. You just sit it up there. I saw several MaxxForce Pro Stars in Nicaragua. They delete all the EGR junk and they run. That's the problem with them, right? But you can't delete that here. 79007. All right. Because you won't pass. You can't go to California. You can't get work done on the truck at the dealer, anything, right? So, yeah, that's the whole problem with them. All that garbage. And then they run better. That's pretty good that you saw them in Nicaragua. Thank you, Michael Colt, for that. And to GP Transco, thank you very much for that. We'll get you the information, and there we go. So there's that. All the potholes on the roads are going to destroy the electronics by slowly breaking the soldiers. I agree. I can't believe some trucks run as long as they do now. Congratulations, Mike Cole. I think Air Liquide in Houston has 100,000 positions with experience. There you go. Oh, oil fields would be another one for 100. We're looking for a driver in Bakersfield. 140 a load to run a gunite mixer. I wonder what you do with that thing. That's kind of like the lime thing from last week that I'm not supposed to talk about. No, we're actually looking at doing a golf outing for our owner-operators and having a brand new Freightliner Cascadia as a hole-in-one. No way. You're going to give a truck away? Oh my gosh, that is super awesome. Maybe you could give it to, it's not like I have any say in it. Have all the drivers participate. You could make a company driver into an owner-operator. Interesting. That'd be crazy. I mean, you got to film that. I'll promote that video. That's crazy. They would give a full truck away. Electrical is the future. Wherever you do, they need electric. Here's the thing. Electric trucks, what's the other one? Okay, the Freightliner E-Cascadia. 250-mile range. 80% charge in 90 minutes. So you drive 250 miles, you sit 90 minutes, and you have 200 miles of driving. Wow, that sounds pretty useful. Todd Highfield, hey Mark, it's Todd. How are you doing? Low time, no hair. Starting a new career. All right, that's awesome, and it's good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I heard an AI expert on Joe Rogan's podcast, the other day, saying that total truck automation is 20 to 30 years away. That's what I'm saying. So I said 25, bingo. Was that me on his show? Was that the one where Joe Rogan interviewed me? Maybe it was. Not sure. Handsome Poochie, hello. Also, Indiana doesn't have car inspection. Edward, that is correct. Although in a couple of counties, they'd still do emissions. Not here, though. Here, any piece of crap that you can start, you can drive down the road. Doesn't matter anything about it, right? Although in Indiana, you also get charged on your license plate based on the year of your vehicle and how much it cost new, not how much you paid for it. So it goes into a category, and it starts there and goes down for 10 years. And the minimum is like $57.50 or something like that. And it goes up based on how new your car is. And different levels of cars are different categories. So you get an SC, it's one level. Titanium is a higher level because it's based on the sticker price of the car new. You can sell it to somebody for $1. But you're going to get hosed. Oh, they stopped doing that too. If you sell a car for $1, you put $1 down on the title here in Indiana. When you go in to get your plates, they look the price up on the KBB or whatever, and that's what you get taxed on. Because they go, you're hosing us out of tax money. So we got all that figured out. But that's because of that, though, the roads are perfect here. Dispatch a teal truck to Mark's house. Yeah, I know. Why are there no? There was a GP Transco truck delivering a load. I forget where he was. I saw him here in town, but it was white. I thought, oh, it's white. What do you know? Whoever wins the truck, do they still need to make payments, or are you going to hand the winner the title? Oh, yeah. I assume that's going to be free and clear. We'll see. I thought the LT replaced the ProStar. Yeah, that's the replacement. And no more MaxxForce. If you think airline searching is an encroachment on your freedom, wait until the self-driving vehicles hit the road unless it's on the railroad tracks. It will never happen. Yeah, I don't like I will never have a self-driving car or one that drives itself. So, like, we have lane keeping and all that, but I have it turned off to where it keeps itself. It just gives you a warning. You can turn that off in the settings. So, and it's on the wife's car. The Sonic doesn't have it. Is it not an airplane? It's not a ship. There's zero room for error and zero room for surprises. Yeah. And remember, it's a Corona tube, which would be an interesting flavor of toothpaste. Does GP Transco hire in Richmond, Virginia? Let's see. Michael Muller, we are not 100% sure about this. If we do end up doing this, we will provide more info, and if we do the truck, it would be paid off. That's really incredible that you could give a truck away to somebody. I mean, What you could just give it to him if you just gave him a truck and gave him a month of payments or 2 months free. Just that would be incredible, or just a check. But to give somebody a whole truck, wow. Because what if they take the truck and put it on somewhere else? I mean, you're basically putting somebody in business for themselves. Thus, every living being down to the last squirrel and other rodents and every inanimate object, self-driving vehicles won't happen. It can't happen. It'll be so far in the future that you can't even imagine. I mean, we're going to have Peterbilt, here. We'll maybe see the beginnings of it where they're kind of more widespread use. None of us in our extreme upper 30s or more are going to be affected by us at all. What makes the LT better than the ProStar? No max force. Anything without a max force. Yes, GP Transco hires out of Virginia. Would be out on the road at least 2 weeks at a time. Does GP Transco hire from Maine? Oh, that's interesting. Do dump truck drivers make a lot of money, since I see a lot of them running custom Pete's? Yeah, you can make a lot of money in a dump. We just have a dump truck driver here, almost $30 an hour. Absolutely. Those kind of jobs that get overlooked in the industry, they can pay really well. If you look around for the right job, it can really pay good, and you can be home quite often. George Costanza, oh, hello. Speaking of your company not providing a TV, what company is that? Oh, well, George Costanza, I never say what company it is. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't ever announce it, and that keeps them out of my videos, and I get to say what I want on my videos, basically, because once you have the company in there, for anybody doing videos, right, you have to think, if the company sees that, what are they going to say about that? Because they're going to say, are you representing me? So I tell people to be a little careful about putting your company in there also. But I also don't recruit for them. Everybody eventually turns into a recruiter on YouTube. It seems like, oh, by the way, use my driver number when you call them. Right. That's just because they get $500,000 maybe for every driver. What if you had 5 drivers every month that called in and you got $2,500? Pretty sweet. I don't do it. Keeps them out of my hair, what I have left of. Actually done via an insurance company, would pay them to take the risk in case the driver gets a hole-in-one. If she or she does, insurance company. Oh, kind of like the lottery or other place. You kind of indemnify yourself from it. That's pretty good. Look, the driver's still getting the truck, and I think that is pretty awesome. We hired a Maine, and you'd be on the road 3 weeks at a time in Maine. Yikes. 3 weeks, but it's Maine, though. I mean, good luck getting back. You know what you need to bring with you if you hire out of Maine? A Stephen King book. Good time to have a clear, no CSA scores. Company drivers are able to make 90 depending on experience and what you're doing. Exactly. Here's somewhere where you can do that. Or get close to it anyway, right? How about that? And everybody, please get a guarantee if you can get it. The RS bill on that truck would be scary. Texas Trader. It would be less than the cost of the truck. So you win a truck, $150,000, whatever, $100,000, and so you pay the tax on it. You're still money ahead. You could get a loan for the tax and be way money ahead than buying the truck, because you still got to pay the tax when you buy the truck anyhow. State of Maine does excise tax and sales tax when we register a vehicle and state inspections. See, you got everything. We got all that but the inspections. The excise, there's a registration fee of, I don't know, it's low, $30 or something. Then the rest of the plate fee is excise tax. But there's no inspections here in Indiana. So that's why you see people here running, 1978 Oldsmobiles around. What's up, Luis from Des Moines, Iowa? What's happening? It's good to see you. Where's the McLean video? No video from McLean. I've got to get out of Florida. You're going to need to move somewhere where there's some freight. Texas Trader, you show sale price dollars, problem solved. Are most grain haulers truckers are farmers? And do grain haulers? Yeah, there's some. I've seen ads here. Oakley is one of them, right? That hauls hopper bottoms coast to coast or whatever. So you can, yeah. Marcus proof that rural arenas keep men young looking. No doubt. Thank you, Tony 5000 gets the award for best comment. Why don't you make a video, a play-by-play on the clearinghouse, what you have to do? I did a video on the alcohol and drug clearinghouse. Was it not clear? I mean, what I had to do was, I thought it was really easy. Basically just clicking a couple clicks and you were in. It took only a couple minutes. Are people not clear on that? I'll be a billionaire cyborg before full automation of trucks happens, so you're not worried. No doubt. I mean, there's nothing to worry about. Thanks, Wild Bill. I appreciate that. So I'm at $28 an hour, says Chris, and at home every day, no logs. That's true, right? And usually no logs in that, no cameras, getting a new T880 at a pack car and a 10-speed. That's not bad. That's better than many road drivers, especially England drivers. Maine is considered a consumption state. How much maple syrup can they haul out of there? That's all there is. Oh, and lobster. I get paid not good here for end dump. DQ Patrick. Let me ask this. Why do you stay there? I mean, if you personally are at a company, and that's for anybody, and you think the pay is bad, it's really low or whatever, why do you stay there? If it's at some point it's so low that the pay is so little that you have to move. McLeod out of Decatur provides direct TV plus TV in the truck. They advertise here in Lafayette. There's one in Danville, right, or whatever, I think, on their advertising. It's too far to go. Dump trucks and trailers are good work, but insurance is high and usually don't hire anyone without experience. To get a rid off the road, you have to raise the body up in the air. Yeah, that's exactly correct. You got hosed and taxes and everything is expensive. Okay. Expensive is all relative, I guess. Has anyone here had a good experience with a sign-on bonus that paid well from a carrier that's actually good? That's a good question. I will say we have a sign-on bonus, right, as many companies do, and drivers complain about it all the time because they forget to pay it. Oh, well, yeah. And so I always tell drivers, look, okay, new drivers, I always tell them, the first thing you got to know, you're not going to get your bonus unless you're on them every week about it. So you can still get International 9900 IED special order. Who would special order that? You need a job where you can watch TV in a truck all day, kind of like dispatch. They're kind of looking at a screen. It's close. I assume on one screen they have Minesweeper, and on the other screen they have the dispatch board. Autumn Transport out of Woodbury, Minnesota is owed the road hopper. Okay, so there's another one where your road grain in it. Every time you were in Maine, your backhaul was paper. Write more copies of it. Maine has potatoes. Using phone as an ELD, what are the requirements? It has to be mounted. Your phone doesn't have to be an ELD, has to be mounted. How about that? So therefore, the phone has to be in a mount. Can't throw it in the cup holder, nothing like that. And it's got to connect to the truck through Bluetooth or a cord. But that's what an ELD would do. So as long as your truck has a mount for that phone that you can see where you're driving, you're good to go. What is considered bad pay and what is considered good pay? It depends where you live and what you're doing. I mean, honestly, because good pay and bad pay in different areas is totally different. Not there anymore, but nothing else around. Oh, so you might have to go back. Oh, okay. So, yeah, so you left. But if anybody thinks you're at a place, oh, this pay here is terrible, I don't think it's great, it's time to move on because there may be more pay somewhere better than that. A carrier with a huge sign-on bonus is a red flag. U.S. Xpress has been the biggest one I've seen, and they've been running this $1,000 a month for a year thing for probably a year for that ad. I'd really like you to do a things to consider about Werner. Well, I've heard, the people that write to me about Werner don't have too much problem with it. What do you think about it? At first thought the CSA was going to hurt drivers, but those of us that do our jobs are getting pay raises due to the lack of drivers in the industry. But the CSA scores are not really fair. Never more fuzzy. Because you can get an inspection. The DOT can write you a warning. The DOT writes you a warning for 60 and a 55, and you get CSA points for that. And you have no way to contest that because it's not a ticket. So there's nothing you could do about it. It isn't really a fair way to give drivers. Like, say you have a truck problem at a company that won't fix it, and you want to tell the DOT, hey, write this up so it can be fixed. That goes against your record, too. I'm not a big fan of the CSA because it's just not fair to the driver. Most companies that offer a huge sign-on bonus are usually trash, right? They use, rather than raising people's pay, they use the sign-on bonus to get you in. As far as we know, the highest paying occupation for non-college graduates is actually land surveyor. Really? I wonder how many of those there are, and how many people go into land surveying. Are there land surveying schools? Because you would certainly need some kind of schooling. I couldn't do that, other than I could see the earth is flat because I can look out and survey it. I don't know what else you would do for it, though. All loads from Maine are heavy load paper rolls or spring water. Oh, Maine spring water. No sign-on bonus at Smith. That's a good sign, right? The pay isn't good, but I look good in the truck. Hey. I always thought that Solitaire was the new logistics program. Well, I'm saying Minesweeper when we're not using the paint program. Robots will have driver-facing robot cameras. Company I'm with puts driver pay above a fancy truck. We stick with manual 10 speeds. That's nice. 425 horse. Steelies. Wow. Stock interior and white trucks. The thing is about the steel, aluminums are lighter. So I could see the point of getting aluminum wheels. They weigh less. The truck would haul more freight. So and it's not a point of looking better in that. That's an actual benefit to the company to be able to haul more freight. So, and you should have less rolling resistance in the tires because there's less mass to turn. I hear the International 9900 with the N14 Cummins were good trucks. Nice. I had an N14 Plus red top Cummins years ago, but this has been the 90s. We have 389s, 4 mixers with 1 end dump. Oh, I wanted to go over these stock prices too because I don't want to forget this. So, Roadrunner stock. So last week, I love talking about this. Last week was $791. Okay, a year ago, $1265. This week, $720. For comparison, USA truck. Last week, $572. This week, $552. A year ago, $1938. Covenant. 1 year ago, $2429. Last week, $1265. This week, $1358. So they're half. US Express. A year ago, $940. Last week, $642. Today, $594. You say, well, yeah, these big companies, their stock goes down. Swift Transportation. 1 year ago, $34.20. Last week, $38.65. This week, $39.06. Small carriers, GP Transco, small carriers can get away with getting manual trucks. When a fleet goes above 50, it becomes almost impossible to justify because of higher fuel costs and more maintenance. I can absolutely believe that. Does anyone drive for rail locally? Yeah, any rail drivers? What do you think about this GP Transco? What do you think about keeping a percentage of the trucks manuals to encourage more experienced drivers to come? Or do you just find that it is not a problem because of the automatics? And I don't think it is, honestly. I'm just putting that out there. It wouldn't stop me from coming, and I don't think it stops most experienced drivers. I don't think they say, well, I'm not going to work there if you don't have a manual. So, but I just threw that out there. Do you find like people are opposed to that and they go, well, if you don't have manuals, I'm not coming? Would you take a company job, George Wilson, if they took you to supply your own driver's seat, tractor, tires and mirrors, and glad hands and truck batteries? No, they should provide some of those things. Although I did have a truck that didn't have a driver's seat that was attached to the truck. Roger Penske, not just a 1978 Oldsmobile, a 78 Oldsmobile wagon with the Vista Cruiser. I love those Vista Cruisers. I'll tell you what, I had a 1979 Buick Electra Estate, which was the Buick version of that wagon. It didn't have the Vista Cruiser or anything because it didn't have that. It was an Oldsmobile, but I like that. That was a good wagon. I got that at a Ford dealer too. So there, Webb Ford. Yes, Webb. Everybody's talking about the Webb boys, and while Bill knows what I'm talking about, I used to have International 9400i with a Cummins, good truck, and optimized idle. That's horrible, right? I think we agree. You and I probably agree the most that optimized idle is horrible. I was thinking of Werner in Lakeland, Florida. Would that be a good student driver? If Werner can get you back there, you'd have to ask him how often can you get back. Our new 880s have aluminum. Yeah, it's just a weight savings. It doesn't even have to be for, this truck's going to look better. That's a weight thing. I wanted to ask Misty this too. I forgot about it earlier. About Pride. Because the optimized idle reminded me. I talked about optimized idle because that's what they say. And then somebody wrote to me and said, oh, no, they don't have optimized idle. So do they have optimized idle or do they have APUs? Because they show 100% optimized idle. So I'm on my 35 reset. Can I buy a beer from a truck and drink it in the sleeper? I wouldn't. Okay. People say you could do it or whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing any beer in the truck. I'm not doing anything with beer. No Corona for me. That's why they have a steel super singles. I haven't seen a steel super single yet. Tell me what the difference in privacy is between being forced to take a P test for a CDL and going through the TSA. I agree. Look, I agree with you. I don't like either of them. I don't think you should have to prove your innocence for anything in the United States. Period. I agree. In the United States, not some other country, you should not have to prove you're innocent of anything. It's the government's job. See, the Constitution limits only the government. It doesn't limit us. Congress shall make no law. Everything is about limiting the government. So I agree with you. That shouldn't be allowed either. Do y'all trucks, I love it, have manuals or, because you're from Georgia, automatics? Because I know a lot of Pete 389s are under order as manuals. I'm going to say they're mostly autos. We'll see there, though. Smith's going to be the same kind of thing where the trucks are going to have to be automatics. But he threw in $100 so we can buy a Roadrunner. We could buy a Roadrunner. You can almost buy the whole company. Werner Pros are good equipment and freight and dispatch. That's what everybody said about dispatchers. Good experience, but the pay is just not good. Right. So the pay a little lower, but you get the company compared to these other companies of the same size is better, and they do a good job. They do a good job on the VA program. George Costanza, I've worked for Werner for almost a year. It's my first year in the industry. I have no qualms about Werner. Yeah, so I think it's one of the better companies of that size. Could the pay be better? Yes. But look, compare that to pay to U.S. Xpress pay, in the low 30s. I mean, come on. That's great. No, 31 cents, 33 cents. Ugh. With the front end collision sensors, I prefer auto shift. Oh, I never thought about that. I've never had a manual with the sensor on it. Oh, I didn't think about that. We have 2 autos and the rest are 10-speed. No one wants to drive the automatics. That's what people say. That's what they said here when we changed over. But nobody left. And I'm wondering, do people actually leave for that? I didn't see anybody leave. If I ran a large fleet, I'd only run manual, so I could only get experienced drivers. Well, you can get experienced drivers in the automatic. It doesn't bother me. Werner allows me to plan my own route and fuel stops. They don't hold your hand. That's great. That kind of thing. You must follow this route. You must fuel here. I've seen people that send me, you can get 47 gallons here, and then you can go over here and get 50 gallons. That kind of stuff, that's maddening. That's maddening. RR stock is 720. Which one would be that? Which is RR? Oh, Roadrunner. Okay, 720. So it's no change from earlier, a little bit earlier this morning. Is it just me, or does it seem like when most large fleets run manuals, you get a lot more experienced drivers? No, I think you just had more experienced drivers. Now they need more and more drivers, so more people come in the industry, and there's more churn. And so you just see less experienced drivers. The more experienced drivers get out, and they go, well, forget this. I'm not sitting around like being paid all this. And then the people that come in just have less experience. Looks like the new trucks coming in all have super singles. Again, so they keep going back and forth. K and B is a manual automatic fleet, a mix. Yeah, that's a lot of places. We're 80-20, I would say now. And they're not buying any more manuals. So all the ones coming in are automatics. These automatic transmission trucks are so easy on your left leg in traffic. I don't mind them. It's not a barrier for me. I've never been broke down in a manual, but I see these autos with a sensor that can't move. That's a problem. That's a problem. I don't care about optimized idle. I don't even notice it anymore when I'm sleeping. So do they have it there? It's just not great. You don't notice it, but your neighbor notices it. They're not used to it. You remember when Smith ran 379 Pete's? They have a lot of nice trucks over there. Unusual trucks for a company, certainly. Peterbilt 379, the fleets say auto shift saves fuel. It has to save fuel. You can't run the thing up, shift to 2,000 every time. I saw a guy walking to his truck the other day with an 18-pack of Miller Lite. Cash is king, all right. He's like, all right, it's a good night for PS4. Thoughts of these little Class 7 trucks with 40,000 rears and 12,000 fronts with small engines like an M12. Does anybody know anything about these business class trucks, which is what they would call them? Pride back in the 90s had 379 Pete's. That'd be nice. Pride has optimized idle and some trucks with an APU. Okay, so, all right, so somebody wrote to me and said, I don't know what I'm talking about. So they do have optimized idle. And I'm just not a fan of it. Especially when you're the neighbor of the person with optimized idle. You might get used to it, but your neighbors don't. And you try to be a good neighbor. Does anybody remember Mr. Rogers? Well, a company offering a GP Transco, offering a Peterbilt and or manual transmission is cool. It costs the company more to run it. Right. Fuel and more maintenance, which tends to mean drivers get paid less. That's the problem. We want the company to make money, but are you seeing that anybody is saying, oh, you have automatics? I don't want to work there. I cannot imagine it's that much of a deal in the industry. How is it not fair to get whacked with a warning when you did it? As you point out, what time obey the law? I agree. Look, Roger Penske, I agree with you, but a warning, I'm not saying a warning is not fair. If you did something which, according to the law, you didn't do, because you're innocent until you're proven guilty. It's only the police officer's opinion of what you did, right? Okay, we can agree on that in the United States. You don't do anything until you're convicted of it because it's his opinion of it. But a warning, okay, so he says, I think you did this. I'm going to write it down. But then that goes against you. And you don't have a way to contest that because there's no ticket. You don't have a date. You don't have a trial. You don't have anything. So that's not fair that he says it and so you did it. That's not how it's supposed to work. If he wants to say you're speeding, let him write you a speeding ticket and you can take it to court. Don't take it into your own hands. You take it to court. So I agree with you. Obey the law. Totally agree. If there's something that he thinks you did, whether you did it or not, it's not up to him to decide. It's up for a judge to decide. Let him take it to court. I'm a huge fan of Ol's fan. Car is a 79 Cutlass. Nice. I'm still mourning the demise of your corporate GM Oldsmobile. They're gone. I understand the site was saving fuel. Yeah, the company wants to save fuel too. GP Transco, mostly because margins are normally 5% and most carriers put their earnings back into the company. I get it. I totally get it. I'm okay with a Freightliner and an automatic. We run our trucks hard. In prior experience with our old freight shakers and Volvos, we just don't hold up in vocational applications. I would say, Chris, you're probably not as concerned in what you're doing with fuel mileage as like an over-the-road trucking company. Kelly, West Optimized Idle, you should go to your doctor and have them prescribe sleeping pills. I just don't like it. Werner starts new drivers at 42 for the over-the-road. It's not that bad. That's not terrible. There are companies that are a dime less than that. Good to get your start in the trucking business there? Yeah, I think so. I think it would be. You get a good insurance discount when you have collision sensor, which is only available in an automatic. Is there really an insurance discount? All right, let's say GP Transco is the only trucking company here at the moment. So is there an actual insurance discount for getting all these sensors installed in the truck? Because I'm curious about that too. I like most automated transmissions. By the current 10-speed in this Peterbilt 579 is ridiculous. I'd much prefer the truck have a 13-speed manual. I agree with you on that. We would all prefer a 13-speed manual. Let's say you start out next week. You may get an older 389 with standard and no front-end collision sensor. Well, great. Well, my 13-speed and buying another one. If I got an auto, I'd get the 6. They have a 16-speed auto. That's nice. Who has unusual trucks, Mark? Well, so I'm saying like a long-nose Pete in that. That's an unusual truck for a company driver to get anymore. Companies go to trucks for better fuel mileage, which is certainly understandable. When you're buying fuel for 400, 4,000 trucks, I mean, fuel's a big deal. I cannot imagine getting that bill from, on your marathon card at the end of the month. You get an insurance discount, which you have a collision sensor. We'll see what they say. I'm curious about that. Do you have age limits on owner-operator trucks at GP Transco? Werner has 100% Opti idle, no driver-facing camera, which is nice. Nice terminals. Fleet manager forces you to take 30-hour breaks because he keeps me so busy. Well, at least you're getting rest. At least they're not pushing you and saying, oh, can't you just do this? That's worse. Not much difference running a reefer unit optimized idle. I don't know. The reefers are, they have these whisper reefers, which are quiet, and they don't shake the whole truck. And so when you're running an APU or whatever, you can maintain a temperature in there too. We're going back to supers to the APU with the 5,000 watt generator to offset weight. Nice. K&B is a horrible company from what I've heard. They're ones that threaten the YouTube trucker. Oh, that run hard, get paid guy. Right. I love that guy. Right. I remember Mr. Rogers. It seems like a lot of owner-operators prefer manual. Owner-operators do prefer them, but, and I hear this on Rutherford show all the time. There's owner-operators. This was this weekend. Listening to the show, I just don't understand it. Maybe owner-operators can help me. Some guy's calling in. He's like, I'm getting 5.6. Should I get this upgrade, horsepower upgrade, and then run the truck at 1410 or 1325? I'm like, crap. He goes, I just got this truck. It's a long Freightliner XL. I'm like, why don't you just get a truck that gets better mileage? Rather than going through and he's like, should I change the rear end to a different rear end and re-gear the truck? I'm like, holy mackerel, get a truck that gets good mileage. If you're if you're concerned about it like that. When I worked at Werner, it paid good home and good miles. Schneider held on a Century for the longest time. They were like the last ones driving them. Run hard, get paid as a crybaby. Yikes. Good riddance to bad rubbish. She never stopped crying. That video's like 4 years old now, too. Okay, no age limits on owner-operator trucks. They need just to pass the inspection. That's pretty good. If it's manual, it should be a 13-speed. Reminds me of my 4 in the floor on the Camaro. I had a 4 on the floor in an Escort. Is that the same thing? In an Escort Pony. Hey, Wyland, what's going on? Hail to the chief. That's right. Happy President's Day today. Smith, we have trucks that are standard with the front end collision sensor. Your 389 and the 13-speed has it from Eaton. So I wonder how. I guess it couldn't slam the brakes on if you just slammed the clutch in. I guess it could still slam the brakes on. Where I come from, lots of smaller fleets run the 379s, and that's what GP Transco is saying, that you could do it in a small fleet, but once you really start racking up some trucks and miles, that fuel, can you imagine, seriously, say you have 500 trucks, can you imagine the fuel bill every month if you had every truck at 2,500 miles? Oh my gosh, just the bill for fuel must be incredible. I want Washington's birthday and Lincoln's birthday back in separate paid holidays off with pay. Wow, that would be sweet. The only people off today are the post office. Wolfpack Transport runs W900 and T800. You know who else? Western Distribution runs these big old nice trucks, and they pay 36. I haven't looked. It was 36 cents a mile last year. Acceleration rules not doing all that ridiculous shifting to go 65. Only works for specialized trucking. Otherwise, you'll take the automatic. Yeah, I like shifting. I like a manual car too, but I agree with you. In the truck, automatic. So that wouldn't stop you from taking a job just because they don't have manuals. The business class trucks are not designed for long miles. Yeah, I agree with that. Wiley Sanders still runs the Kenworth T600 and T800s. Wow. Does Werner still do the per diem where they say you're getting 38 but they pay you 15 and 23 cents? Oh, is it forced per diem at Werner, and do they charge you for it? As an owner operator, I want a truck I could take to a truck show. Well, we'll see you in Louisville. Are you going to be in Louisville at the Mid-America Truck Show? Probably not. We'll see. If company offers per diem, you should take it. I don't take it. We don't offer it, but I wouldn't take it. You want a 379 because it's been your dream truck? Hey, get one. Don't ever, people that are younger, then they give up their dreams, and then later they're like, oh, why didn't I do that? Don't regret things. Go buy one. Schneider, you don't know how many days you have left. Don't wait. Don't regret. Don't do any of that, right? Schneider Freightliner centers your glider kits set up with Detroit 60 series and 13 speeds. Almost bought one of those, but couldn't get over the orange color. Well, you could paint it, I guess. Earl Scheib, $99. Any car, any color. Presumably trucks also. No ups and no extras. What do you make go of this? I went to Werner website, clicked on student driver, and it comes back as no results found. That's interesting. Chris Keller's off today, paid. That's nice. Full paid day. How does Western run all those long-nosed Pete's? I know they aren't the best company. Western Distribution runs those Pete's because the pay is probably 20 cents low for an experienced driver. That's how they do it. And that's what GP Transco is saying, and they're exactly right. They have these long-nosed W900s and long-nosed Pete's and everything, and I think they look great. There's some great-looking trucks. They don't pay hardly anything. They hardly pay any. They're 20 cents low on what they should be, unless it's gone up from the last time I looked. Is Western considered a mega carrier? Western Express is a mega carrier. Western Distribution is not a mega carrier. Happy President's Day, but not the spoiled brat in chief. All right. We would wish every president a happy President's Day. We'll still lock the brakes regardless. You got to make sure they're hot. You hit the clutch before you tear up your rear ends. Oh, that's right, because it's locked in. That's right. I don't care what kind of transmission the truck has unless it's electric. Well, it will only be a gear. Werner doesn't take students. You have to have your Class A. You can be a brand new driver, but you have to have your license and come from a school. All right, there's that answer. Mississippi scales at Bovina closed east and west. That's another good thing about federal holidays. Some of the scales are closed. 4 on the floor, Columbia, Georgia. 4 on the floor and an Escort doesn't count. Oh, dang it. That had 88 horsepower. I remember that car did. So, and it had a 4 on the floor. There was a 5-speed option that car didn't have because it was a pony. The car had no options. It did not have a radio. It did not have air. It had crank windows. And it did not have rear defroster. Okay, so, and it had manual steering and manual brakes. That is what we called a car in 1988. I do not have an issue with older, rough equipment. It's safe and clean as long as they pay benefits, and benefits are premium. All I'm asking, I got to have air in the summer. I can't take it. And safe, right? And then we're okay. At Smith, we don't do owner-operators because we're employee-owned, and you all, as employees, collectively decided that, I assume by vote. Why did Schneider stop running the Freightliner Century? Oh, my gosh, because they're 1,000 years old. Warning is not, I think you get it. I think it's the same as a ticket with all the same information. You did it, and he could prove it. Then he should prove it. Okay, then he shouldn't give you a warning. He should prove it. If he can prove it, he should prove it. Because in America, right, innocent until proven guilty. So he can prove it, but he didn't prove it. Him saying it or her saying it is not them proving it. Let him prove it. They don't just get to write a warning so that they don't have to come to court and take their time up. Let him prove it. Or no points or anything for you for it. Here's a warning, now get lost, and nothing more happens of it. But once it affects you, you should be able to defend it, and you can't. Spoiled as a company driver, rarely drive a truck with more than 200,000 miles. Oh, that would be nice. Swift is the best place to go for company CDL training, from what I've researched. Okay. Where did you research that? I mean, who said that? I must be go to TDI school. Okay. If you automatic transmission break down, it cost you $300 just to hook up the computer. Hunsley, if it's your truck, I guess it would, yeah. A warning is a ticket, except that you get this slide it as a courtesy. Well, you don't get to slide it because you're getting points for it. So since you're getting points for it, your company can, take action on you. It affects your license. So you're not really getting slid. You're only getting slid on money. Money's the easiest thing. It's the points that you can't get rid of. I lasted a year at Werner, Dollar General. That seems like a lot of work. 48 states and dedicated customer. I like dedicated the most. I agree. My trainer wanted to sleep the whole time. After my first week, he learned not to do that. Yikes. Now, do you have to unload the truck at Dollar General? That's what I'm thinking. And this hand unloading, it would be a drag. Driver-facing cameras are only good to prove you had your seatbelt on. It could prove that, but you could prove that with your own driver-facing dash cam that you own the footage of. The burden of proof for a warning is much lower than that of a ticket. Yeah, because he just says it and hands it to you. So if they think you did something, let them bring you to court. So you can have your day in court. In 1992, I bought one of those Mazda B26i. Sweet. No power windows, no power locks, no radio, no air conditioning, manual, 5-speed. You see, you had a 5-speed. And you had 4x4. Super reliable. Had it for years until I got my the 2013 F-150. That's much better. I heard automatic's no good when you're hauling heavy loads. I don't think they shift. I'd probably run the RPMs a little higher on them. But the companies are doing that to save fuel. Stepping on your swaddle belt, deactivate collision system. Nice. Ryan made it back and loaded and rolling. I actually had this before, which I put up here a while ago. This car. So this is going to be a couple pictures. Who can name, year, make, and model? This was the first car I ever had. So I found some pictures of it and had it out there. So these are not the actual car. This is a picture of the car. So year, make, and model. My first car. No, I didn't buy it new. For all of you asking. So there you go. First car, year, make, model. And for extra credit, engine size. How about that? We can extra credit the engine on that one. Because that year, the engines were all the same in it. All right, so there we go. Useful on a 1985 Mercedes 190D with a 4-speed manual. That'd be pretty nice. There's a YouTube video showing what DG is like if people are interested. I'm asking, isn't it hand unload? I have no problem hauling a heavy load in an automatic. I think they do okay. F-150 is a standard cab long bed 5-liter V8 and 6-speed automatic. Super good. Acceleration wheels, 68 Fury. No, we're in the right group, but not the right car. A 70 New Yorker. Oh, so close. So close. Pontiac. What the heck? No. 460 Chrysler. They didn't have the 460s out yet. Chrysler Newport 69. Oh, Christina is 450. Nope. 71 Chrysler 300. Oh, Jim gets it. 71 Chrysler 300. And I had a that's super good. That had a 440 in it though. And they all came with a 440 and the 727 automatic floor shifter. This basically is a two-door New Yorker. So I thought that was pretty interesting because people looked at the Sonic. So it's a 71 Chrysler 300, not a letter car because they didn't letter it that year, and gigantic. So what are your thoughts on the Salmon Company's 10 Roads? I never heard of that place. Kind of fishy? Ha! Oh, yikes. No, actually, seriously, though, I haven't heard of that place. Has anyone on here heard of it, though? 83 Chrysler. Whoa, Christina, way off. 71. Why do so many car hauling companies run the long-nosed Pete's? To get a car up on top of the truck, I think. First vehicle was a 65 Chevy Stepside 3-speed slapstick. Nice, that'd be good too. I want a 69 Dodge Charger and a 77 Trans Am. Those would be cool too. This car you don't see as many of, and you didn't then either. I've not viewed anything by Trainer James in a long time. Where Trainer James? What company was he from? Is he the guy from Driver Solutions? George Costanza, Dollar General is 100% touch freight, but the money is good for the first year and you're guaranteed 30 to 48 hours off for your reset. And look, I'm just saying it's work. I'm not saying like it's bad. A lot of people like to do that, and it's roller freight if I remember. Am I not? You'll have to correct me. With the company, you put rollers in and the boxes get rolled out, right? I think at Dollar General's. So, but you're going to touch every piece of freight in the trailer and put it in the stores. So if the money, and Werner's right, not terrible on money. So the money's good. You get 2 days off, which is better than a lot of places sometimes. And you know where the stores are. And can you park at the store? AutoShift can function as a manual when needed. It depends. Mine, it's disabled. So I get the power part of it, but they disable the manual. And the 19s and newer, both sides of it are disabled. Your Cascadia gets better mods than that 440. I'll say in town, I would get about 6, but I could sometimes squeeze 11 on the highway with it. So not super bad in its gigantic 26.5 gallon gas tank. The Healthy Highwayman, who won the TV? We got lost in New Albany. We have Michael Cole on that, who was going to, as I remind him to email me his address. Hey, Mark, is the 45 cents per mile good to start? Yeah, not bad. With safety performance, package gets you up to 49 cents. Yeah, don't count on the extras. Never count on the extras because they always have a way to boot themselves out of them or whatever. Some companies figure 45 cents and anything you get is extra. So 45 to start, depending how much experience you have, is not terrible. Remember the 300 Hearst? Yes. Wanted one, couldn't find one, so found this thing. Trainer James works for Walmart. Oh, he's that guy. He's the Walmart guy. Didn't he? It seems like he got in trouble. If I remember him talking about it in a video about putting the company in the videos. From what I understand, I think so. My first real truck I called mine was an 87 GMC High Sierra, but he has pickup trucks. A 3/4 ton. Wow, that would not be as great a ride as I would have hoped for. Got to drive it full of big blocks. 75 in fuel lasts 4 hours. That is correct. But when I had this thing on the road, I remember paying, 89 cents a gallon. So behind the license plate, by the way, is where you fill the gas tank up. Have you heard of a company called Magnum in Fargo? Yes, I have. And I have had a couple of people write to me and actually go work there. 74 Dodge Charger. Yikes. Wasn't 2010 the last year they made the Freightliner Century and the Classic? Did it go that long? Wow. Governor of Virginia, gun control bill has been stopped. That's good news. If no one had them registered, they wouldn't know where they are. That's just what I'm saying. Not that you should do that. I like the way the aerodynamic Peterbilt looked, like the 377, as we called the Fleet Pete. Dollar General is rolltainers. Okay, much easier than gravity rollers. So the roller thing I'm thinking of is a gravity roller. Family Dollar and Dollar Tree are gravity rollers. And yes, you drop the trailer at your last store and bobtail home for the weekend. Okay, that's why I see the trailer sitting around. Look, it's work. No one's saying it's not work, but for the money, and it keeps you in shape. So somewhat. GP Transco, literally 6 drivers left for promises of 68 cents a mile on 1099 and all came back within 3 weeks saying they learned a lesson. Exactly. Then they come 10. I don't know why people like this 10.99 and think it's a great deal. It isn't any. When they see 68 cents on 10.99, there's some kind of catch. There's a catch. I've seen these places. Some of them don't pay it for deadhead miles. Some of them, you have to do all your own, find your own loads on load boards. There's always some kind of catch. The too good to be true is always, it's too good to be true. I saw 10 road trucks at ATL this weekend. I was GP Transco hired in Georgia. You're going to have to move. All you need to do is get in your Chrysler 300 and move. That's it. Just hop right in there. Put yourself a couple of $100 aside to get gas to the next state and just move. It's super easy. Trainer James Dillon Transport and Werner. Was he over there too? If this is the guy I remember from Walmart videos. It was a beast, had 454 at 3 gallons to the mile. That'd be really great. Those were, but when gas for 3, that wasn't as much now. It'd be a tough now. I have a 65 Dodge Polara 383 big block automatic. Those were nice. We had a Polara wagon. My dad had a Polara wagon. Numbers matching. California car, 2-door, never a police car. White with the red interior. For some reason, my dad liked those Chryslers. He had a St. Regis also, which was just our car. Was never a police car. The Dollar General was too much for me. Parking at the store is ideal, but sometimes it's not the safest neighborhood. That's correct. It's a good job if you can or want to do the work. Only made $200 more a week. It's work and the parking. I never thought about that, right? Dollar Generals, who's going to go buy at the Dollar General? It's not going to be, in the neighborhood full of doctors, let's be honest. So it's not a great neighborhood. Where are they at with the mandate for truck GPS in West Virginia? Dead. Okay, so that died. It got killed. He said, I heard from many people, that's hopefully many of you people, hopefully many of you, and he said, we're going to rethink this, and they pulled it. So I'm going to say it's you all that wrote in, because many people said they wrote into him. So he heard from people, and that's what the guy that brought that bill up said, that they're pulling it, and it is no more. So you did it. I saw a car hauler truck, just the truck part pulling an Amazon trailer. Really? I wonder how you would do that, because that fifth wheel thing is way down there. Peterbilt 379X, we do hire out of Georgia if you're north of Macon. Oh, so the Macon is like the Macon-Dixon line. Is that too good to be true? That could be. Don't tell the Golden Girls, come out at the Dollar General, help you unload the trailer. Look, I didn't want to say anything. It's a lot of times, it's older ladies working there during the day. So, and they're the ones that are going to help you put all the stuff in the store. I got to think the front of that trailer in the summertime when you're in there working has got to be hot. And so you're getting all sweaty and stuff. Yikes. And I guess I just got soft. I'm like, wow, that just seems like a lot of work. So working in Chicago, pay is 65 cents per mile. Yeah, in Chicago, it's 65 cents per mile around Chicago, $10.99 with no benefits. I'll email you a picture of it. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Pat Salmon and Sons is another name they pull for the post office. All right, so there are a lot of contractors that do postal freight. In Indianapolis, it's Solo, which is a big one. There are others. Generally, it doesn't pay overtime, but from what they show here, but it's hourly, and you usually have a route. And from what I understand, that people that work there, you never sit around. So, like I've seen, like 7:15 to 7:25 is your time at post office, and you're in and out of there. They roll some stuff on, roll it off, and you get a regular thing that you do. So, if it works like that, and that works for you for a schedule like that, then they're worth talking to, right? All devices used to check your speed or calibrated recorded. It is not an opinion, it is fact, and it's provable. You've been given mercy. Shut up and be glad. I haven't been given any mercy, and I want my day in court. I don't know why it's wrong. If he can prove it, let him prove it. I'll take my chances in court over just some cop saying whatever. My grandfather was a police lieutenant, and Dad was a cop for many years, like I've said here. And I know from them talking, a lot of times they just pull people over and give them tickets. Okay, from them and having their friends over and stuff. That's why I'm not a cop today, because I'm not going to do that to people. But that's how the police force works. Every ticket that's given isn't a provable, legit ticket. They know people will just pay the tickets. And so I'm not taking his word for it. If he doesn't like it, the cop can write me a ticket and bring me to court. And I'm not, so I'm not taking it and being glad. Wow, the state is taking, mercy on me. I'm not like that, right? He can bring me to court and we'll fight it out there. At least then it's legit, and that's how the system is supposed to work, that you're innocent until proven guilty. Him saying it and saying I can prove it is not him proving it. Trainer James also worked at Werner and Raven. Yikes. He also did local cement with his own day cab. Yikes. Well, holy mackerel. How many jobs is this trainer going to have? Roger Penske had a 76 Ford station wagon. Yikes. There's another gas sucker, right? What was the dead body rating on that Chrysler? Oh, there was plenty of room in that trunk. And if you stack them head to toe, they fit better in there. So you can get, half dozen easy in that trunk. Went on forever. Mike F., waiting for a shower at the Flying J in Riverside, 30 people in line. You know what? I'm sad and happy at the same time. I'm happy there's actually 30 drivers that are willing to wait for a shower. There's only 4 people left there for those showers, and they're going to go through those people pretty fast. But I'm impressed that during the day, there's that many people waiting for a shower. Still better working in the heat unloading a trailer than doing it at minus 30. That's true. And that's the thing about Dollar General. You're doing it at minus 30 also, right? So either way, it's cold in there too. Is it hard to get a TSA waiver for hazmat endorsement? What do you need a waiver for? I mean, the endorsement, other than a few things, you can get the TSA thing. No problem. Eddie McFadden. 1099 isn't good. The high CPM is because you pay all the taxes and no workers' comp. That's exactly correct, right? The extra money, you get hosed that you don't have any workman's comp. You don't have unemployment. You don't have any kind of insurance. You don't have any benefits at all. You have no protections, no benefits. Never worth it. Plus, you're being misclassified. You're driving someone else's truck. You're an employee. There's this one Freightliner FLD 120 that has it piped towards the ground. I see it pulling the U.S. mail. Nice. Most of the trucks today, I will say, have the underneath exhaust. GP Transco, big news. We got unblocked from the Truckers Report forum. Oh, must have been a timeout. We're blocked for recruiting. After we responded to users that called us shady 1099 company. We are a W-2 company and have benefits. I don't understand it. You should go in under a different name, I guess, although that seems kind of shady too. But why are they blocking you? Oh, you're recruiting. That's what half the people on there do. And all these other drivers on YouTube and everything, that's what they're doing. And you're a company, you need drivers. People would want to hear about it. You're shady. This is one of those shady companies. The problem, right, as you know, you just get lumped into all the other companies that are up in your neighborhood in the Chicago area. And it's sad. It's all rubbing off on you. There are a lot of good companies in the Chicago area that pay people properly, the way they're supposed to as employees. But then there's a few of these, and they advertise all the time, and it makes everybody else look bad. What is the point of having the pipe pointed towards the ground other than to make the truck louder? Well, they do that now so it's not up in the airstream, and it's probably cheaper. Then you don't have to run 10 feet of pipe up the side of the truck. And I like it. Mine comes out in front of the back tires, kind of pointed over that way, so when you're in the dock, you can sit there and let it run a few minutes and kind of melt a little spot out of the snow and get out of the dock. They call it fishing. Not everyone has time or money for a quarter lawyer, especially drivers. They see a truck that they know is from somewhere else. They'll do this. They know you're not coming back 1,000 miles to fight a $100 ticket. You're just going to pay it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We had no cat brake or blue parrot brakes. I did have a blue parrot brake. And no mention of Jay from Auto Intel. Oh, dang it, Jay. He just wrote to me the other day, too. What about Jay from Auto Transport Intel, who I forgot about? I appreciate it on the show. He's live at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Can you believe that? 8 p.m. Central on YouTube? Why aren't you watching him? Go over there and watch him do things and say things out of his mouth hole. Jay, somebody's going to say that to him, too. So, but it's a great show over there, right? And, of course, if you wear it, make it a parrot. We should have an extra blue parrot brake. I should always put GP Transco information right here. Although I don't guarantee the truck color. They do guarantee $1,000 a week at GP Transco. And what's going on over here, right? We need the cat Gracie is just disappointed that she hasn't had a cat break in quite some time. And she would wake up and bite me, except she's probably very tired, so which she does a lot of biting and everything. So there's always that. And I've lost myself on the thing. Oh, there I am right there. I don't know where I went off to. That's right, I forgot all about that. If you have to prove your innocence, you're not considered innocent. Correct. That's super correct, right. Dad owned a trucking company and was very successful. He drove a 450 SLC. That would be super nice. That's the classic Mercedes. Mom had an XKE Jaguar. Nice Jaguar. With the removable hardtop. The other car was a Ford wagon. Oh, she had these two great cars and a Ford wagon. Oh, to put everybody in. Right. XKE would be super sweet. Probably V6 in that. Don't know. The 450, the classic Mercedes. Wow. Do you still have those cars by any chance? Either of them? My older sister had a Javelin with a Pierre Cardin interior and paint scheme. Oh, those were so nice. The Javelin, they had one that had the plaid paint scheme on the inside. The seats were plaid. Super great. Hammer truck navigation for Android and iPhones for free. We were unblocked because we ended up contacting the president of Truckers Report. They have a president? Actually, from now on, we go straight to the top. So Truckers Report has a president? How big is the truckersreport.com? Holy moly. Oh, I thought it was like a timeout thing. So it was just like going to be a permanent block forever? You're just never going to be on there? Oh my gosh. How long before automation takes over? 25 years plus, and that's just for road. Long distance road. Before it drives around the city, 50 years, probably maybe more. Easy 25 years before there's any widespread use of these automated trucks. Here's another one, right? What is this other one? So Kenworth, Volvo, 250 miles, 150 miles in a Kenworth electric. The E-Cascadia is 250 miles. I mean, they're a long time from any of this working out. Because they said they want to do the electric trucks with this, because if they can eliminate fuel and drivers, that would be amazing. The exhaust is pointing down most because of the heat generated by the regen. If you had a stack, that pipe would get very hot before that exhaust exited. That's true, and some of them have a sticker there, right? There's a sticker that says during regen, don't get near the exhaust when it's up at the side of the truck because it's like super hot, right? Any mid-states drivers out of there? Mid-states was Aurora Fast Freight back in the 70s. Nice. My first car was a 66 Dart with a 6-cylinder. Oh! Donut fund policing. There's a lot of that, right? They know you can't come back. Ticket's $100. You're not going to take like days off of work and come back. With the exhaust coming out the bottom, if the wind blows the wrong way, you get exhaust into the cab. I will say that I always keep the window cracked, but it's always just been a habit of mine to keep the passenger window cracked open to let fresh air in. Because of that thought that the exhaust is coming out underneath, could that be coming back in the truck? So the passenger window is always cracked a little bit. Unless it's super cold out, I keep that cracked. How much cat food does Gracie use per mile? Yeah, well, it's pretty expensive. An England driver probably couldn't afford it. Proving your innocence is Democrat Party values. A 270 slant 6. I see the Freightliner FLC all the time pulling dump trailers or straight as dump trucks. Cats run on treats per mile. Yes, that's exactly correct. And you can bring your cat with you at GP Transco, unlike some companies. Then she does run on treats per mile when she's awake. What kind of car was your first car? Again, a 1971 Chrysler 300. How about that? And I did not buy it new. I tried to cook a hamburger patty in your exhaust pipe when was doing regen and vaporized it. Would that be delicious? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. It was 30 years ago. I had to sell it before I could really enjoy it. What makes you support GP Transco? Look, I like GP Transco. They're doing the things that I want a company to do right. Pay good, decent equipment, good benefits. And the treatment, really. It's companies that treat drivers better are even more important to me than pay. So everybody, which GP Transco doesn't know, I never tell them when people write to me. But people write to me and say, Mark, I just called GP Transco based on what you said, and they treated me great on the phone. They talked to me. Stuff like that, all, without any pressure, and they answered all my questions. That's for people that don't even work there. And then I know a number of people have worked there, and they write to me and go, look, Mark, what you said, this place is great. The treatment is great. the treatment. I don't get treated like I'm a second-class citizen here. And that's really important to me. When you're professional, you should be treated like a professional at work. You know what you're doing, they should treat you like that. You treat them like that too, though. Right? That goes both ways. You don't like, hey, stupids, do give me a load. Don't be like that, right? But it should go both ways. Unless you're casual, then you're like, just here to work or whatever. But the treatment is super important to me. That's more important than money. To me. Because you can get money anywhere. GP Transco Freightliner contacted us asking for our permission to post our driver documentary Pierce video on their social media site. Let's see if they go through that. Oh, that'd be good. Do they have a large social media presence, though, Freightliner? That'd be really good. Is Cat Scales the same company as Cat that made the Cat engines? No. Can you bring dogs at GP Transco? They should ban dogs. But yes. Buddy of mine in high school drove a 442 with the dual gauge shifter. That'd be super awesome, too. That's when cars were cars, as we said, although they were slow and used a lot of gas. I'm at my job. You're all snorting exhaust fumes. Yeah, but you can snort them, right into a camera if they ever put one in. I was way off on that car. I'm sorry, Christina. You were like a decade off. Way off. That's okay. I'm a big car fan, and so I know I can at least identify him by looking at him. You don't have to be a car fan. I would rather have 1099 and not get paid per diem. I don't care how much your company charges you to get paid per diem. I don't like that companies charge you a penny and a half or whatever because it saves them money. They're saving money and then charging you. That's why I don't like them charging for it. And some of them force it on you and then force that payment out of your check. That's literally money out of your check. They save money on the per diems. It's all deductible. Paying for medical insurance is also deductible as a 1099. Medical insurance is very expensive. As I checked into here, the policy I have here is $1,856 a month if I bought it on the open market. That's a lot of money. I left my bunk heater on over Valentine's Day to keep my cans from freezing. With my new 6.5 amp battery maintainer, when I got back to the truck, the heater was shut off due to carbon monoxide. So it has like a built-in carbon monoxide thing. That could have been you in there. Zach, Pride is great for treatment. That's what people have said there too. Is the pay the highest pay? No. Okay, but the treatment is worth something. When you go to a job and you hate it and you're being treated poorly by everybody, you're soon not going to like that pay. Those are like golden handcuffs that they put on you. You're not going to like the pay. So you're better off working somewhere that's less stressful where you get treated better. You really are. You'll have a much better quality of life for your whole life. GP Transco, we allow pets at no charge, but hold the right to charge the driver if the pet causes damage to the interior, like chewing up the steering wheel. Do not let your dogs eat the trucks. All of your deductions are dollar for dollar off your gross. Yes. But you're still being misclassified if you're 1099 driving someone else's truck. Talk about the invasion of privacy. What is a fair Isaac credit score? I don't like those either. And they don't prove anything. That doesn't prove anything. Successful companies build on respected employees. Successful companies that build up employees, respect them, treat them well, get treated well back. The customers that the company has, they get treated better by the employees too. So it all works together and the whole company does better. I wish more companies understood that. That's huge. You expected to act and perform accordingly, and it's such it should be returned back to the driver. Exactly. Imagine that. Some companies don't get it. Trucking would be so much better if most companies were like GP Transco. I agree. If all these companies treated their drivers respectfully, and when they call and ask questions, you just answer their questions, and not, it's just stupid, just do whatever you want, right? Crazy. And don't wake you up with like that guy, run hard, whatever, get poked, that guy with the cops. K&B calls the cops and wakes you up. Social Security is a hose job anyway. If you're under 40, by that time Congress will be forced to hose you. My plan is to be pushing up daisies by the time 25 years has gone by. Well, you never know. My grandfather made 92, so I drive around with a buzz. You have to, right? That noise in your ears. At Smith Transport, no pets allowed unless they're trained, certified service animals. Well, they have to allow service animals. So they don't have any. They don't have any choice in that one, right? are animals for people with high anxiety. I agree. Trucks should ban dogs. I've yet to see one trucker pick up his dog business after he's gone. I've seen drivers that are at a customer walking their dog along, and an astute viewer posted a picture of me to me, emailed me a picture of a person that had their dog tied up next to their truck in the dock, and the dog's just on the cement. I mean, come on. It's no kind of life. I wanted to drug test me. I told them I don't smoke cocaine. I just like the way it smells. Tell them, look, I'm willing to try it if you want me to. People with high anxiety, yeah, I don't know. I saw that was a good movie. Tide Pods go well with the fumes. Well, Bill and the senior recruiter, John Alvarez, have a really similar sense of humor. They would get along well there. Does GP Transco have drive cams? Let's see. I'll let them answer that. They're here today. Trucks have road-facing cameras. Driver-facing cameras are optional, up to the driver. Drivers who decide get 2 cents. It's the only company, honestly, that I've ever seen, and I've asked people, if your company does this, to pays the driver for turning the camera on if they want to, an extra 2 cents. I wish everybody did that. At least if they're going to put a camera, they could pay you. And here it's optional, so anything that's optional, I'm okay with. I like my job, but hate the way shippers and receivers are treating me. I think some of that is partly us, right? When we go in and yell at them all the time. But look, they ought to provide a bathroom. Why is there not a bathroom? They ought to get people in and out. They just have zero incentive to make you leave because they don't have to pay you anything. Chris sent a picture of the Polera. That'll be great. I wish I had a picture of my dad's Polera wagon. The one W with the big lips on the side of the trailer. Oh, okay. I'll have to think about what that is. I hate people who have their pets on their lap while driving, want to blow a horn. The pet shouldn't be on top of you when you're driving. Any news about collision sensor insurance discount? No, I don't know if they get a discount. I mean, they're basically standard on the trucks now. I know on the car, the wife's Escape, she has all this stuff. I don't have any of that, and there's really no difference in the insurance. I mean, like you got all this, we're giving you a discount. GP Transco accepts current medical card and just put you through the typical mega cattle corral. That's great. Only allow pets at my company if they have their CDL and all endorsements. Well, that wouldn't be Gracie. She can't drive a whole shift. Do drivers still use CB lingo like Smokey? They use some lingo, but that wouldn't be what they would say. Shippers and receivers are idiots, right? They don't have a CB, but they'll install it for you through your shop if you bring one in. Oh. Here's Gracie. She happened to walk by. I got her. So, as I wrap the show up today, Gracie's. Oh, goodness. Say hello to everybody. She's not saying hello to everybody. But I have to head out to work as it is today and make them give me some money. They make me come in every day as much as we don't want to. Michael Watts is here. I appreciate that. Sensors make people pay less attention. You got to worry about these goofy sensors. I do appreciate everybody being here today on the show, as always. Let's see. First today was Michael Muller on Wednesday, and also Irishman, who sent me a screenshot of being first. Depending on what's showed on the screen, though, I don't always see the first one. So, Zach, I appreciate that, sweet cat. GP Transco, we opened a complaint line for our drivers last week, strictly for complaints about shippers, so that we know which customers not to send drivers to. So will you just not go to those shippers, or only not send that driver to that customer? I mean, what can a company really do about that, though, if there's constant problems at a shippers? I mean, that's how you make your money, right? So obviously, you need to haul freight. So would you turn freight down to a company that aggravates drivers? That's interesting. Texas Trader Gracie, come to Matt's. She doesn't even like riding to the vet, so I don't know if I could get her on the Matt's. I guess I could walk her around on I don't know about walking her. I don't think that would go. Thinking to go on local food service over the road doesn't seem consistent or worth the BS. It's anything local where you paid for your time. You're going to find out you're going to make at least probably as much money. You might have to work harder. Oh, the CFI phone holder is doing great. I hope that phone holder makes it to next month because I hope to get a new one. Maybe I could trade in for replacement. It's not a stuffed cat. No, she's real. So I can't believe she was still awake. You look tired. The cat is the one that is tired. Dogs are funnier pets than cats. The cat's an easier pet to take care of. High-speed chicken feed. That's a good one. Have a great week. Be safe. I appreciate it. The Healthy Highwayman. Be safe. Negative the Jaguar with a V12. All right. Do you still have those cars? I wonder about this. Right. Al Johns, thanks, and be safe. I appreciate it. We call the customer and negotiate about the customer treating our drivers well, potentially losing us. That is really awesome. Wow, have you ever booted anybody for that? Do they change? I mean, do you get feedback then from the drivers? That's incredible. You should put that out there. I mean, put that on truckersreport.com. That is really something. Have a great day, GP Transco, and please shoot the email with the info. I will do that as soon as I get over there and get it. I appreciate it. Hello, American Truck Exchange. I don't think Gracie was looking for camera time as much as she was asking for dinner. That is correct, because when the show's over, she gets fed her lunches. So I totally agree. That's why she was over here. I could feel her whiskers down there. Michael Cole's going to email for socks, and the TV wants a pair of socks, too. We'll see what we can do for that. Thank you for being here. Wild Bill was also here. I appreciate you being here today. Trucking Journeys got to watch from home today. That is super great. Misty, thank you for coming in. Christina, I'll send you a book to brush you up on some car IDs. Roger Pensky, thank you for being here. Ryan O came in today, and of course GP Transco is here. Thank you for coming in, and the giveaways, of course. I'll get you that information. And also Fleet Nav Systems was here answering Geotab questions and ELD questions, which I appreciate. George Wilson, thank you for coming in today. Comfortable Man was in here. I appreciate it. Hunsley, always a pleasure. Peterbilt 379 was here. I haven't seen you for a while. It's good to see you. Kay Wayne was here today. Cassius King Trucking stopped by. Pulled in. How about that? Backed in. Something like that. Acceleration rules. Oh, I should have some kind of trucking thing to say. The Healthy Highwayman was here. Luis came in today. Jim Johns, I appreciate you being here. Chris. 76. Let's see, where am I at here? And I'm off there. Bricks, oh, I appreciate that. Fast Joe, thanks for coming in. Eddie McFadden, I love it. I was here on Electric Avenue. Let's see, Trucker Hershey, thank you for being here. George Costanza was here, even though there's nothing wrong with it. But I have to head off to my job today, and that's where I'm going to head off to. So everybody be safe out there. Thanks for coming in. And we'll see you right here on this show next Monday and during the weekend videos.